Presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at michigananswers.com. Here's Paul.
Well, a very good Wednesday morning to you. It is the 11th of May in this Nurses Week, the 131st day of 2022. There are 234 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. We've got the team together as we celebrate the teams of nurses everywhere, and especially with our partners at Michigan Medicine. Yes, that's right, Michigan Medicine nurses. You are in the spotlight this morning, and all the other nurses that you represent all over our city, our state, and our country. Happy to have this Nurses Week. You can not only listen to us, but you can see us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, WJR.com. I'm told we're well represented on all of those channels, so I hope you'll be able to do that. And I hope I don't look as ghostly white on your monitor as I do on the monitor here in the studio. If I didn't have my glasses on, you might not see me. In a snowstorm, but that's just the monitor here in the booth. As I understand it,
it's that classy beard, Paul. Let's be honest. That's what it is.
It's a very white beard. So,
yes, it's dignified.
It washes out a little bit, but dignified. I like that. Yeah, that's the ticket. It's dignified. All right. Well, anyway, so's the team with our WJR senior news analysts and our Fox News folks and best guests ever, and frankly, you, the best and brightest audience in all of radio. It's why we're here, and glad to be here with you. Dana Clark handling her responsibilities with our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and along my side, Ann Thomas, our executive producer and assistant program director now. Sean Belegian here. And we never like to start off with sad news, but when it's news, we started off. Bob Lanier, the left-handed big man who muscled up besides the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as one of the NBA's top players, and in recent years, an NBA ambassador. He was a top player in the 70s, has passed away yesterday. He was 73. It was said that back in 2019, reported that Bob Lanier was being treated for bladder cancer. This was a great player, averaging 20.1 points and 10.1 rebounds for his entire career, mostly with the Pistons, a little bit with the Milwaukee Bucks. But he was a great man overall as well. And for more than 30 years, Bob Lanier served as a global ambassador. He was a special assistant to David Stern. And it's just sad. I mean, that's young these days, 73.
No doubt about it. He was, unfortunately, here as a member of the Pistons during a very dark time, and that was a major reason why he had asked for a trade going back to 1980, and he was traded to Milwaukee. But, Paul, his time here was recognized as the Pistons had retired his number. Of course, he went into the Naismith Hall of Fame back in 1992. One of those larger-than-life guys. He was just such a big man and 6'10", and the rumor forever was that he had size 22 shoes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big foot.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you know what they say about guys with big feet? Big socks. All right. A couple of other stories out there affecting a lot of people. Gas prices. It's unbelievable. It's unacceptable, but it is what it is. So check the air in your tires. I tried to blow my tires up this morning, hitting the curb, but check the air in your tires, since underinflation of tires can have more resistance to the pavement and reduce your gas mileage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, important to check those tires. We don't check them like we used to. Remember, I'm not going to bring up the old days. Okay, I'll bring them up. Where they would, can I check your tires, sir? This is as they're washing my window and Can I check the oil, sir? Nobody remembers that. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
Oh, you
that.
do?
I remember
Absolutely.
that too,
Yeah.
Paul.
All right.
I paid $4.39 yesterday.
Above the national average of 437.
Oh, yes, I did.
Did you?
I was
did not?
desperate, though, because I let it go all the way down.
Yes, because she rides it on the red light lighting up. But you didn't go to Costco. I mean, not everybody can go to Costco. And
I
generally,
really needed it right then and there. You know how that
yeah,
goes.
I do know how it is. No, Sean and I don't know how that is.
Right.
But we understand what you're saying.
There are many people out there who can relate.
Basically, maintaining your vehicle is going to save you. Maintaining your vehicle is going to save you some money, and they give you the old "don't idle at lights." Well, a lot of our cars turn off at lights now. I think it costs more
Start it back
gas-wise
up.
to start it back up. Frankly.
I've wondered about that.
I try to coast to stoplights. That's another thing they ask, and then they say use top-tier gasoline in your vehicles. I've seen that sticker on gas pumps. I just thought that was what that gas company called their gas. Is there a designation of top-tier gasoline? Anybody?
I'm guessing that's just the premium type.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I mean, look,
But you don't need premium if your car doesn't say you need premium.
that's my thought as well. Paul, look, I'm already paying enough at $4.39. I'm going to go ahead and take a pass on $4.79. I am. I'll pass.
Yeah. I don't get it. Okay, you think you've got problems? Subway restaurants are running short on meat.
Oh! Wow.
Sometimes a Subway turkey and cheese with mayo is just what the doctor ordered. Not a cardiologist necessarily, but just what the doctor ordered. But now they're running low on meat. Next thing you know, it'll be Arby's, and the poor guy who says, "Arby's, we have the meat."
Does it say why, Paul?
I'm just going to guess that there are probably multiple reasons. Subway franchisees have reported they're having difficulty sourcing meats for their sandwiches due to a combination of factors that include an ongoing outbreak of avian flu. My God, blame it. It's all the birds' fault. The lingering supply chain issues. Look, if your turkey's stuck in the supply chain, I don't want it when it can get there. It's been sitting there for a while. All this is caused by the pandemic. The president was seen at several Subway shops yesterday saying, "This is not my fault. It's before you get to me, blame Putin." So he was very, very busy. Did I say Bill Gates has COVID-19?
I had not heard that.
I did not hear that.
Well,
Wow.
you've now heard it here first. A 65-year-old Bill Gates, positive for COVID-19, experiencing mild symptoms. And you know, the people that were on the run, Vicky White and Casey Cole White, they were ready for a big shootout with the police. Police smashed into them, T-boned them, knocked them off kilter and on their side or upside down, which saved some lives because they had an arsenal in that car and a lot of cash. Remember, she sold her house for $90,000 bucks. She was carrying it around. What a story! What a story! What a bad story. Not over yet, but pretty much there. She's dead, and he is incarcerated again. 6:14 on a Wednesday, Nurses Week special morning, featuring our friends and partners, the Michigan Medicine Nurses. Yep, that's you. And all the nurses you represent across this great country of ours here on WJR.
If you own a Michigan business, it's time to meet MEDC. The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business reach its new potential by connecting you to resources, introducing you to partners, and accessing the necessary capital to build your Michigan business. Contact us today to find customized support for your business at michiganbusiness.org/partnership.
Coming up right around the corner here, Nancy May, Chief Nurse Executive at the University of Michigan Health. Hey, planning a trip to Mackinac Island this summer? I hope so. Start your adventure off right aboard Shepler's Ferry. Shepler's Mackinac Island Ferry. The Shepler's crew welcomes you to experience the first-class service offered to every guest every day. Visiting the Grand Hotel, Mission Point Resort, or another island property? Well, family-owned Shepler's Ferry departs every 15 minutes from St. Ignace and from Mackinac City to get you there quickly and safely. Heck, the Shepler's Ferry is part of the vacation experience. It's beautiful to be on a boat like that with a great, smooth, safe ride, looking at the mighty Mac and everything else that you can see. It's fabulous. Count that as the real beginning of your vacation. Buy tickets and learn about free day parking at www.sheplersferry.com. Do that before you get on the road. I know you'll see plenty of billboards, but take it from me. Do all of this ahead of time before you're in the car. Buy tickets, learn about the free day parking at www.sheplersferry.com. 617 at 760 WJR.
COVID-19 can cause long-lasting symptoms for those who have had the virus. Research studies are showing hyperbaric oxygen therapy can help with many post-COVID symptoms such as fatigue, loss of taste and smell, brain fog, headaches, memory problems, malaise, lethargy, and more. Research suggests that capillary damage, inflammation, and low blood oxygen levels may contribute to post-COVID symptoms. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy has been proven to reduce inflammation, saturate plasma with oxygen, and increase stem cell circulation up to 800%, which enhances the body's ability to heal itself. Oxford Recovery Center has had tremendous success in treating post-COVID. Whether you have recently had COVID or if you had it in the past, hyperbaric oxygen therapy can help you in your COVID recovery. To learn more about how Oxford Recovery Center and hyperbaric oxygen therapy can help you in your COVID recovery, call 248-486-3636 for our Brighton or Troy locations.
At Huntington, we've been asking ourselves, is there a way to make payday faster? And good news, everyone. Now, if your direct deposit is set up at Huntington, we'll make your paycheck available to you up to 2 days early and with no added cost to you. If you're wondering, why would a bank do that? We get it. But for us, it's about looking out for people. That's how we reinvent banking. Huntington, welcome. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply. Learn more at huntington.com/earlypay.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This spring, let Audible bring a smile with comedy, sci-fi, thrillers, or whatever you love listening to. From audiobooks to exclusive originals to podcasts, find it all on Audible. Sign up and start free at audible.com.
Traffic First, also sponsored by the Mother Waddles Car Donation Program. Donate your car to Mother Waddles. Help the poorest of the poor right here at home. You'll receive a full fair market value tax deduction for your vehicle while making a difference in our community. Call Mother Waddles today at 313-WADDLES. That's 313-WADDLES. Starting off your hump day drive, couple of problems out there, couple of closures. Let's start in Howell, 96 westbound. Between M59 and Grand River, multi-vehicle crash has that area closed. You can take Grand River instead. A serious fire in Lyon Township along 8 Mile, both directions eastbound and westbound between Griswold and Meadowbrook Road, closed there. Avoid the area. Crews are on the scene. You can take 7 or 9 Mile instead. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. Shop the Dixie Home Premier Flooring Center at Reamer Floors. Dixie Homes Envision 6/6 carpet nylon is stain and soil resistant. It matters where you buy flooring. Shop Reamer Floors in Bloomfield Hills or online at reamerfloors.com.
Got clouds and a little breeze around, but the mild weather really stealing the headlines. Should be in real good shape here for the rest of the week. Clouds and some sun today. Mild start and a warm finish at 81, 13 above normal. Tonight down to 55 in clear, suburbs a tad cooler. Thursday, sunshine 82. Friday, a few clouds and high in the low 80s. From a Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stidgick. News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR. Presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at MichiganAnswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
Well, as you know, today we're celebrating the entire week. Frankly, I think we should celebrate every day, day in and day out, every year. Nurses. And we have a very special nurse standing by from University of Michigan. She's the Chief Nurse Executive, Nancy May, DNP, Doctor of Nursing Practice. Nancy, welcome to the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR.
Thank you so much, Paul. I'm so excited to be here today.
Well, we're excited for you to be here and to be able to take some time to be celebrating Nurses Week. And let me tell you, if there's any group of people that deserve to be celebrated after everything that we've all lived through in the past few years, it's you nurses. I hope you feel the love.
I do feel the love, and I cannot tell you how proud I am of our nurses at University of Michigan Health. We have 6,300 nurses within our health system that throughout the last 2.5 years have just been amazing. The resiliency that they have shown, their dedication to our patients, to our community and our families has been like no other time in my career have I seen nurses show up, stand, and just really be there for our patients.
Well, and you were called upon to be there for patients in ways that no nurses ever have had to have been and shouldn't have had to have been. You became family members to people who were passing away and were going to do so alone, and nurses made sure they didn't feel as if they were alone as they passed away. Your job became so expanded to make the patient feel better, but also to make the patient's family feel better, because it was a terrible time to lose a loved one when you could not be there.
You are absolutely right. And nurses became very innovative on how they could connect with our patients and our families in a way and at a time where there was such moral distress for so many. Not only moral distress for the patients and families, but also for our nurses, because our families are such an integral part of care at Michigan. And so they became very creative. We actually used Zoom type meetings and cell phones, iPads that we provided for our staff to connect with families. We even brought in, through our Healing Arts program, opportunities for musicians to actually play into cell phones that we could use in our ICUs. And what we found was that our patients' breathing was easier. They relaxed more with some of these healing arts that we were able to provide to our patients. And all those came up through ideas that our nurses had. And it just shows the commitment that they have to our patients and our families to think outside the box and to do the right thing and to help families and as well as our patients just deal with this awful pandemic that we have been in for the last 2.5 years. And as I said, they have been so resilient, and it just put patients in front of all that they do every day.
Well, let's face it, and we're spending a little time with Nancy May, DNP, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Chief Nurse Executive at U of M Health. When we think now of the breadth and depth of specialization of the nursing team, how the advanced care at Michigan never stopped working, and you never will stop working to improve the health of your entire community or all the communities you deal with.
So there are many, our teams are amazing. We have such a wide variety of specialties in nursing. Our nurse advanced practice teams did an amazing job and continue to provide access to care for our patients. In addition, we have amazing leadership teams that huddle with our frontline staff every day so that we're all aligned, that we're meeting the needs of our patients, the organization, and looking at ways to prevent harm every day. We also have our ambulatory care teams that did an amazing job, really at the community level, to ensure that vaccines were distributed, to make sure that we could test patients. We got very innovative again in creating ways in which we could manage care virtually over the phone and virtual platforms. So many innovations came out of the pandemic. It's due to that specialization that we have at Michigan Medicines that really differentiates ourselves from other healthcare organizations.
I understand U of M Health nurses recently celebrated another major achievement. Tell us about the magnet certification and what exactly that means for U of M nurses to have this designation.
Thank you, Paul. This was an amazing feat in spite of the pandemic. Our nurses achieved our second MAC designation. There are about 5,000 hospitals in the United States, and about 10-11% are magnet. In order to achieve magnet designation, there's a document that has to be submitted that has exemplary outcomes. You have to really show what your organization is about by creating stories around what they call standards or sources of evidence. And there are over 70 some sources of evidence, and a review team comes in. They ensure that what's in the document is accurate. There's empirical outcomes that you have to meet. And I am so proud to say that we are one of only 14 hospitals in the state that achieved magnet. And to have done this during a time when people have been so challenged in healthcare right now with staffing and other issues, our teams they knocked it out of the park. They were amazing. The story they told, the engagement they had, their passion for nursing practice to ensure that we provide the finest care for our patients that choose to place their lives in our hands. And it was an amazing story.
I have to say that there is no question anything and anyone involved with Michigan Health, and that includes the U of M Health nurses, are high achieving, without question high achieving and award winning, and a lot of achievements that you mentioned some of them for the individual nurses and the units, and they've earned over the past year. And I think there's some special awards tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
You're absolutely right. I am so pleased that we will have 3 nurses that will get recognized tonight at the Nightingale Awards at Oakland University. 2 of them were actually being recognized with the award. The third nurse is a runner-up in her area of advanced practice. And these are awards that are given throughout the entire state of Michigan. And so the fact that we have 3 nurses that are going to be honored tonight for their exemplar care and passion for practice, it's just heartwarming for me as well as the rest of the organization.
Well, it's great for us to hear all about it. Makes us feel good. And I just want to say, God bless you, and God bless all of the nurses that you represent in your position. I say congratulations to all of them. And with leadership like you, Nancy May, it's easier to understand why they all excel, and they all do so very well, which means it's all good for our patients and for our families. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Oh, Paul, thank you for letting me share our views of our nurses at Michigan. They are just the best nurses I've ever worked with. So thank you so much.
And like I said, Nancy, it's okay. It's Nurses Week, but I think we could celebrate and should celebrate nurses every day of every week because of the job you guys not just have done through the pandemic, but have done through history and continue to do. And we so appreciate you. Nancy May, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Chief Nurse Executive at U of M Health. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul.
As we continue on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR.
Guy Gordon here. When I travel to Mackinac Island, I hightail it with a Starline, Mackinac Island Ferry Company, Hydrojet, or Catamaran Ferry. The only fast, frequent, family-friendly hydrojet service to Mackinac Island. To get tickets starting at $19.95, visit MackinacFerry.com.
I'm sure we can agree the past 2 years have been tough. If you're like me, you're more than ready to move on. So let's make 2022 our best year ever by bettering ourselves and staying healthy. That doesn't mean waking up and running 5 miles every morning. Good for you if you can. Something as simple as staying hydrated can do wonders for your overall health, but hardly any of us drink enough water. That's why one of the easiest things you can do is to have good, clean water on hand when you need it. Fortunately, my friends at ApsoPure have you covered with an outstanding offer. Right now, when you sign up for ApsoPure delivery, you'll get 4 free 5-gallon bottles of water, a water cooler free for 30 days, and a bonus 24-pack of ApsoPure Plus electrolyte water. Call 800-4 ApsoPure, and then tell them Paul W. sent you to get this incredible offer. That's 800-4, then ApsoPure, and tell them Paul W. sent you. Or visit apsopure.com/WJR. Bottle deposits and other restrictions apply. Call for details.
Fox News. I'm Lillian Wu. We get the latest read on inflation this morning when the April Consumer Price Index comes out. Right now, Americans facing
another record high for the price of gasoline, $4.40. The price of gas up nearly 50% from a year ago. It's an even steeper rise with diesel, which, of course, truckers rely on to ship goods across the country. The price of diesel up nearly 78% from a year ago.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson.
President Biden blamed the pandemic, Putin, and attacked the Republicans. Many Republicans blame the $1.9 trillion coronavirus package the president signed into law 2 months after taking office.
And a U.S. citizen who's also a well-known Palestinian reporter for Al Jazeera shot and killed while covering an Israeli raid in the occupied West Bank. Journalists wounded in the incident blamed Israeli forces, while Israel claimed there was evidence they were hit by Palestinian gunfire. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Closure along 96 westbound between M59 and Grand Avenue has reopened. That area is clear as things get back to normal in that stretch. You can take Grand River instead. Serious fire in Lyon Township this morning has 8 Mile closed, both directions eastbound and westbound between Griswold and Meadowbrook. Try 7 or 9 Mile instead. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel. More of the same this week. We remain dry today. Cloudy start, more sunshine later this afternoon. Still nice and warm, even warmer, a high of 82 today. Yes, it's finally time to turn on the AC for tonight. Partly cloudy, overnight low 54. A few clouds from time to time on Thursday, but mainly sunshine, hitting 82 once in. Clear skies, 61 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather first.
It could be information to change your life forever. Or the Something You Should Know podcast could just be something interesting.
Monica Guzman is on a mission to depolarize America.
That animosity is called affective polarization. It's polarization based on how we feel about each other. We are actually living under more anxiety and fear than is probably justified. By the way, when we have less fear, we can solve more.
Join Mike Carruthers and guests for Something You Should Know. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, indeed. It is 6:33 at News Talk 760 WJR. Your roof, is one of the most important parts of your home. You don't need me to tell you that, but I just remind you because, frankly, until I started doing all these Victor's commercials and being a Victor's evangelist, I never really thought about my roof that much. Until I, needed to get it replaced or get a new one, which is what I did with Victor's. So 2 roofs. Roofs don't last forever. No matter who does your roof, you have a lifespan on that roof. You can extend the life of your roof significantly with regular inspections and maintenance. Now, I don't want you climbing on your roof. That's pretty good advice. Victor's will climb on your roof and walk through the attic, literally a top-to-bottom inspection, inspecting the typical areas of roof failure, give you a full video report of what they find. That's all free. If there are any issues, they'll come up with a customized plan to get it taken care of. You'll sleep better at night knowing your roof is sound and ready to take on whatever this Michigan weather can throw at it. They do prompt follow-up, great communication. You always talk to a real person, never a voicemail. And they show up when they say they will. And as you know, if you're having work done around the house, that's like a big deal these days. And by the way, they clean the job site. They, in our case, left it better than it was before they started. Just don't take my word for it. Check them out on Google, Angie's List, Yelp. They have more 5-star reviews than any other roofer in Michigan. You'll find cheaper roofing contractors out there, but you will not find a better one than Victor's Roofing. Schedule your free 21-point video inspection today. Call 734-6666-914. That's 734-6666-914. Or you can set your appointment at victorsroofing.com. That's victorsroofing.com. 635, 62 degrees. WJR.
I'm Ann Thomas.
And I'm Dr. Carol Kowalczyk.
On tonight's Healthy Woman Show, brought to you by the Michigan Center for Fertility and Women's Health.
We're talking about the 4 F's: fertility, flowers, fitness, and fashion.
Tonight at 7.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care as soon as you need it. You can schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. You can also call our customer service team to ask for information and get the help you need. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
Wine guards, everything from lawn to snow.
Hi, I'm Dan Weingarts. Join us for our Time and Mow sale going on now through May 14th. Our family has been helping families like yours choose the right power equipment for your lawn since 1945. Our experts ask the questions you didn't know were important and listen to help you find the best products for your lawn. Honda lawnmowers, generators, pumps, and tillers all exhibit impressive innovation that delivers tremendous productivity and reliability. And all Honda products are powered by durable, easy-to-start Honda engines. Many discerning customers choose Honda when only the best will do. And our expert service technicians and world-class parts inventory will keep your equipment running like new. We've always known that service goes beyond the sale. Visit us to see the full Honda line in Utica, Farmington Hills, Cedar Springs, Clarkston, Ann Arbor, and Livonia.
Wine guards, everything from lawn to snow.
See all of our Time to Mow sale specials at winegarts.com. From our family to yours, thank you for letting us serve you.
This is a cautionary tale, so you might want to pay attention. While most of us know that oral health care is important to save teeth and enhance smiles, many are unaware of the most recent medical studies and research linking gum disease to the major systemic diseases of our time. Of the ever-increasing list of catastrophic diseases, most can now be linked to gum disease and other oral and dental issues. Consider the dramatic incidence of heart disease, colon cancer, lung cancer, infertility, hypertension, diabetes, and most recently, the daunting and staggering statistics correlating gum disease with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Joseph Nemeth has remained on the cutting edge of treating patients with gum problems. Be proactive. Be informed. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 248-357-3100 or go online to drnemeth.com. That's drnemeth.com.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR, presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at michigananswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
Well, a very good Wednesday morning to you. And wait a minute, is it Wednesday? Oh, my goodness gracious. You know what we missed? Is Dana in her studio?
It's hump day.
Oh, there we go.
Don't play with me.
I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. I was concerned with a couple of things happening in here, technically, and I forgot. I just absolutely forgot. So I apologize. We'll never take hump day away from you. Not while I'm around. Anyway, it is hump day, and thank you, Dana, for reminding us. It is also Nurses Week, and a special day for this Nurses Week, featuring our partners, our Michigan Medicine nurses. And of course, the nurses all represent so many other great people that really have gone to bat for us in ways that no one ever expected anyone would have to over the last couple of years. And I know we're not out of the woods yet. Maybe by a long shot. That part I don't know. Let me ask a question here of Ray Templin, who is sitting in the studio with us for this broadcast, which I appreciate. And Curtis Ball is in the other room. Is that the screen that is up online right now? It's just a logo. Hi, Cefe Puente. Cefe is here. Must be money involved. Okay. Is this what they're seeing? A little squirrely of little red and white stuff? Oh, okay. Because I asked you if that was the scene that we were looking at. All righty. It is National Eat What You Want Day. It's kind of just another day to Sean and I.
Jeez. Wow. Thanks.
It says here, restricting yourself from your favorite foods can be difficult. That's why on this day, May 11th, we celebrate National Eat What You Want Day. On this day, people are encouraged to treat themselves by giving in to their sweet tooth, carb loading without having a marathon to run, and eating breakfast for dinner, because on Eat What You Want Day, no one can tell you what not to eat.
Well, Sefe's participating. You see, she brought in a big box of donuts in there.
She did?
Yes. So she's
Was she going to
participating.
hide them like that? I wouldn't have known.
Well, look at here.
Sefe.
Look who just walked in.
Boy, the salespeople know the way
so
right
sweet.
to our hearts. Thank you, Sefe. Yeah, there's a whole big box of Dunkin Donuts. That's okay by me. And now the monitor actually shows us on the screen.
Eat what you want day. You know, I think I'd start with Coney's.
I would
A
love
good Coney breakfast,
I
right?
would love some pizza.
Yeah.
I would love a Coney dog. I would love some Chicken Shack chicken, which
Oh, that
Kim points
sounds
out
good.
did not make the list because all these other places in the country aren't lucky enough to have a Chicken Shack. That's
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah.
That's ours 50, 60, I don't know how many years ago. I think it was 1953. Oh, no, 56 is when Chicken Shack started. I wasn't around yesterday. Did anyone bring around the sandwiches? I got that letter. Oh, how was it? Pretty good?
I didn't have
Ray's
any.
got that smile on his face like he ate them all.
Yeah.
They were delivered to his office and then go anywhere else.
Yeah, I didn't get any.
Yeah.
I need to try that.
So, full ranking of foods Americans would eat every day if they didn't have to worry about the consequences. Number one item is
pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pizza. A quick glance at this list. I don't see yogurt anywhere, Ann, I'm sorry to say.
That's a shame.
Then followed by pasta, burgers, ice cream, tacos or burritos, any kind of chocolate, French fries, donuts, cake, chips, cheese, and cookies. That's not unreasonable. Enjoy it today without any guilt, because nobody can tell you you shouldn't eat this today. It is National Eat What You Want Day. Go forth and eat and enjoy yourself as we continue on this special Wednesday edition of the Paul W. Smith Show on WJR at 6:43.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept, and to help you get almost 30 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. And now, during our Memorial Day sale, save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed Queen, now only $19.99, only for limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
This week's
Dell
IHS.
Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
This week's IHS Market Minute with Tom Libby is brought to you by Dana. Dana, people finding a better way. Boy, they found a better way ever since Jim Kamziskas took over at Dana. Tom?
In the first quarter of 2022, nearly 155,000 battery electric vehicles were registered in the U.S., driving their market share to 4.6% of the total U.S. light vehicle market, according to data from IHS Markit, now a part of S&P Global. Tesla's Model Y and Model 3 garnered a combined 96,000 registrations. No other electric vehicle saw registrations above 10,000 units for the quarter, and 35 electric vehicle models were under 5,000 units. In the first quarter of 2022, there were about 40 models available compared with 22 electric vehicles a year ago. Tesla's growing production capacity all but guarantees dominance for some time, but traditional brand competition is nibbling at Tesla's.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
He wants to.
Terrific.
Oh, so he doesn't mind being on video.
There we go. Perfect. All right, Dave, can you talk to me for just a second? Oh, I'm muted still. Dave, can you talk to me?
I'm not muted.
Good morning.
Featuring the latest Dana-built core technology for a wide range of applications. These innovative systems enable your electrified vehicle to work hard and play hard without compromising power, towing, payload, or performance. So go ahead, make the choice to electrify without compromise. Dana, electrification delivered.
I'm Jeff Morton, Center Director for Pain Free Life Centers. Over the last decade, I've seen thousands of people suffering in pain, from your typical bad back pain to rare conditions resulting in pain that leave conventional medicine literally scratching their heads. In almost every case, high-intensity, high-dose laser therapy available only at Pain Free Life Centers was able to provide relief. In some cases, it was the only thing capable of providing any relief. So why would you make Pain Free Life Centers your last resort? How about this? Make Pain Free Life Centers your first choice. Why just mask the pain with addictive medications, painful injections, or worse yet, unnecessary surgeries? All of that can be avoided. Pain Free Life Centers is your best option for real pain relief. We're so confident in what we do. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You truly have nothing to lose but your pain, but you gotta call. Book your appointment in Troy or at our new location in Farmington Hills. Don't wait. Call 248-879-1100 or visit painfreelifecenters.com.
Summer's fast approaching. Family vacations, ball games, and parties just around the corner. As the temperatures rise, we all want a safe, relaxing, cool space to gather our friends and family. If you're thinking about adding shade to your outdoor area, Marygrove is my go-to company. I love everything about Marygrove, especially how quickly and professionally they conduct business. You can get a quote within 24 hours of contact and have your awning installed in industry-leading times. No need to wait months for delayed inventory due to supply chain issues. Marygrove has hundreds of units on hand, ready to go at a moment's notice. Schedule an in-home appointment at your convenience, and one of Marygrove's shade experts can come and show you how easy it is to get the shade and protection you need on your deck or patio. If you schedule now, Marygrove is offering free LED lights on all 2022 models, a $500 value. These lights allow you to entertain well into the night in all seasons.
Hey, Ian, yeah, I'm on now. No. What? Hey, good morning. Hello? I can't hear him. Okay.
of the very generous Ralph C. Wilson Jr. family and philanthropy. God bless you, David.
Great to be here this morning.
Well, nice to have you here, David, a man of very few words. I bet I can get some more words out of Matt Matt Cullen. Matt, good morning.
No question, Paul.
Good morning.
I'll talk a lot more.
Yeah, good morning to you.
And Paul, unfortunately, I wasn't there yesterday. It's the first major event in the 20 years that we've been working on the riverfront that I haven't been there. After dodging COVID for 2 years, like everybody else, it finally hit me, and so I was in quarantine under my wife's orders, so I wasn't able to be there. But I'm just so thrilled with the announcement yesterday, and it's something that Dave Egner and the Wilson team have been really challenging us for the last few years. Is like come up with the kind of iconic park that are going to be something that kids dream about and families build their lives around, and that challenge was met with some of the best architects, some of the best Riverfront Conservancy team, the community group that helped us lead it, the visioning, and it was just an incredibly exciting day for us.
Well, Matt, you've said before to us and to all who will listen that you knew about the tremendous potential for this part of the riverfront. And God bless the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation, which encourage you, as you put it, to dream big. Parks like this only happen once in a lifetime. And you're expecting this park to rank among the best parks in the country. And of course, they always have a profound impact on the neighborhoods. And those of our listeners who are also watching us on Facebook, YouTube, WJR.com, and Twitter actually see an artist's rendition of this park that we're talking about. And I got to tell you, Dave Egner, we could not have done it without you.
Well, it was such a joy. And Paul, what makes this park special, in addition to just its location and all of the terrific things that will be in it, the community's the co-designer. So this process started long before our announcement, with the Riverfront Conservancy doing a gold standard community engagement process. 21 members of the community on an advisory panel. They took them to 3 cities. They visited 14 parks, brought back the best ideas that they could, and they continue to be part of the design team. So while there's a world-class architect, 2 of them, designing this park, it really is co-designed by the people of Detroit.
Well, that's great. That's excellent to ask for and to receive the input of so many people. And as I look back at our records here, it was back in 2018 that the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation announced this $40 million capital and $10 million endowment commitment to the Conservancy for the future Ralph Wilson Park. So this is something that's been long in coming, but makes it extra special. And I'm just so glad that we're here and that you guys were able to break ground. I'm sorry, Matt Cullen, you were not able to be there. Here you are pulling a Bill Gates, because he just announced he has COVID as well. Have you been hanging out with Bill Gates again, Matt?
Not that I know of, but I could have been. I don't know. But Paul, you made a great point. It's not just the treasure that Wilson shared with us, but it's their time and talent as well. They just got some great folks that they brought to bear on it. And the other thing that you had in your comment was that there was money for capital and operating. And I really want to emphasize that point, because from the first day we started the Conservancy, we wanted to make sure that it was sustainable. And so pace by pace, as we've been building out the 5.5 miles, we've been building an endowment. And again, Wilson Foundation, Davidson, Kresge, the City of Detroit GM, I mean, they've been the anchors for us. And so, we've been committed that when we build this thing, it's going to be beautiful when we open it. It's going to be beautiful, 20 or 50 years later. And I think people can see that based on the East Riverfront. We're going to do the same on the West. And that's a real credit to the philanthropists that have been supporting us.
A lot of times, all the other people who have helped out don't get named. We can't name them all, but we can add to some of the names that luckily we're happy that Sarah Rahal of the Detroit News, I think, included him in her story as well. You've got people like Rachel Bendit, Mark Bernstein, the famous law family Bernsteins. We have the Morton Bridget Harris Foundation, good old Sarah and Chip McClure, made a very big gift, and even the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, Eagle, provided $1 million in support of the environmental cleanup that was necessary. So we always hear about the big names, and well, we should. The big name being the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Centennial Park and their money from their funds. But a lot of people, I mean, it takes a lot of people. It sometimes takes the big names to kick things off.
Let me throw Delta Dental in because they had a big role in it too. But you're right. It took a vast group to pull this together.
All right.
And I wouldn't lose the history here either. It's so critical to look back more than 20 years ago, where you had Senator Carl Levin really ahead of the rest of us on reclaiming the riverfront. And then David Page at the Kresge Foundation as a trustee pushed hard for the Kresge to be in. So many people, I don't want to lose those two icons in the history of this riverfront, though. They were folks that made it happen.
I'm glad you brought it up. Dave Egner, President and CEO of the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation. Jack Entertainment, Matt Cullen, Chairman, Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, as we continue to accentuate the positive, relentless positive radio happening on our riverfront. Stay with us.
Did you know that most adults with autism are unemployed, and a major hurdle is the lack of job opportunities? That's why Autism Speaks is teaming up with Lee Container, the J. Donald and Laurel Lee Family Foundation Fund, and Delivering Jobs to create a more inclusive workforce in the U.S. Are you an HR professional, community leader, or business owner? Join us in creating a workforce where people of all abilities can contribute and thrive. To learn more, visit autismspeaks.org/employment.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
The Oxford Recovery Center Autism Program. Autism recovery through synergy can help your child like it helped Michelle's.
My son was diagnosed with autism 5 years ago. I tried 2 other ABA programs without my son having any progress. But when my son started getting aggressive, a friend connected me to Oxford Recovery Center. They have a very different approach, and I saw progress almost immediately. Now, 3 years later, I don't cry and worry about my son's future like I used to. I'm so proud of him. If you want more for your son or daughter, then pick up the phone and call Oxford Recovery Center today.
The Autism Program at Oxford Recovery Center looks at each child as an individual by combining therapies like hyperbaric oxygen treatment, neurofeedback, occupational and speech therapies with ABA. They're able to treat physical, emotional, and behavioral needs. To learn more about how Oxford Recovery Center's arts program can help your child, call 248-486-3636 for our Brighton or Troy locations, or visit our website, oxfordrecoverycenter.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
An end around the Supreme Court. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the Senate's Democratic leader wants. Chuck Schumer planning a vote today to make abortion legal nationwide, a week after the late court draft opinion showing conservative justices ready to overturn the Roe v. Wade ruling.
Now we know women's rights are at stake. So this vote is the first step. We are going to keep fighting.
But that procedural step will fail, likely several or more votes shy of the 60 needed to overcome a filibuster. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell doubts any federal abortion legislation could win a supermajority.
Fox's Jared Halpern, pro-choice activists, plan to protest outside justices' homes again today. Here's Fox's Marianne Rafferty.
Those walk-by Wednesday protests being organized by the group Ruth Sent Us, that's organized behind these demonstrations in the past. The White House and Democrats jumped to the defense of protesters they call peaceful outside of Supreme Court justices' homes, but Republicans are outraged.
They claim it's an attempt to intimidate. Now, here's something both parties agree on: more aid to Ukraine.
The yeas are 368, the nays are 57.
The bill is passed. The House sending the Senate that legislation to provide $40 billion in weapons and humanitarian assistance. A journalist was killed early this morning covering an Israeli raid in the West Bank. Shireen Abu Akleh, a U.S. citizen, worked for Al Jazeera, which blamed Israeli forces, but Israel claims she was hit by Palestinian gunfire. Gas prices hit a new record high this morning. AAA puts national average for regular at $4.40 per gallon.
Some of the roots of the inflation are outside of our control, to state the obvious.
President Biden blames COVID, supply chain issues, and Russia's invasion, says Republicans are not helping fight rising costs. They blame his policies. Now, next hour, we'll get the April inflation report that is going to show consumer prices rose again. They have been up recently at levels not seen in 40 years. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Couple of problems to start your Wednesday commute. 75 southbound at 12 Mile. Accident is blocking the left lane. Traffic getting by in that right lane only. That's because construction also in that area. Brake lights from Rochester Road, a 32-minute delay. 75 southbound, construction delays there between 14 Mile and 696. That left lane is closed. A stop and go for about 11 minutes. 7-minute delay along your 96 eastbound commute between Kensington Road down to Kent Lake. Backed up from US 23, that left lane is closed. And a reminder about that closure due to a serious fire along 8 Mile, eastbound and westbound shutdown between Griswold and Meadowbrook. Avoid that area. Police are on the scene along with fire crews. Obviously, take a 7 or 9 Mile instead. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. Shop the Dixie Home Premier Flooring Center at Reamer Floors. Dixie Homes Envision 6.6 carpet nylon is stain and soil resistant. It matters where you buy flooring. Shop Reamer Floors in Bloomfield Hills or online at reamerfloors.com. More of the same warm weather today, starting out cloudy, but sunshine later, a high of 82. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 54. Clear skies, 62 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather first.
Welcome to Spotlight on Excellence with Wayne State University Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Mark Kornblue. Mark, a lot is happening at Wayne State's College of Engineering.
It is. Today, I'd like to spotlight the fact that Wayne State Engineering offers one of the most comprehensive mobility education programs in the U.S. We're truly proud of that.
And you must be proud of your recent program announcement, too.
Absolutely. We recently launched the Wayne Mobility Initiative. This is such an important program. It focuses on societal and mobility challenges that face us now and those we'll face long into the future.
What are the goals?
Well, we know that autonomous vehicle technology presents incredible opportunities, but it also presents challenges in manufacturing, infrastructure, and policy. The Wayne Mobility Initiative helps solve these challenges now and keeps the momentum moving long into the future.
Some very exciting career opportunities too, right?
Absolutely. That's an understatement. Careers in this sector have increased by more than 800% in just the last 4 years. And these careers are not limited to vehicle technology. Connectivity must also happen within cities and with us as individuals too. And our College of Engineering is seeing that future very clearly and leading the way to it.
Thanks, Mark. Learn more about Wayne State's College of Engineering at engineering.wayne.edu.
American-made metal. American-manufactured shingles. American Metal Roofs. This month, get a free upgrade from steel to energy-efficient, non-rusting aluminum, plus save 30% off published list price on your garage roof when you add it to the project. Financing is available. Offer ends soon. Don't wait. Call 844-METAL-ROOFS for your appointment today. Product info, pictures, free downloads, sweepstakes, and more online at
AmericanMetalRoofs.com. This is Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR. It's a salute to Nurses Week, presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at MichiganAnswers.com. Here's Paul.
It's Wednesday, May 11th, the 131st day of 2022. There are 234 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift, including, well, every day this week is Nurses Week. I think that every day should be Nurses Day, and last week, Teachers Day. Invaluable work that these folks do, but it's all about the nurses today, especially featuring our partners, Michigan Medicine Nurses. And boy, do they do a nice job. In fact, Michigan Medicine nationally recognized for an A in the Leapfrog Hospital Safety Grade. The distinction recognizes Michigan Medicine's achievements in protecting patients from preventable harm and error in the hospital. And you know that the nurses are a very big part of that. So congratulations on that achievement as well to all of the nurses that are a part of all of this that we celebrate today. And of course, there's yet another reason to celebrate, because it's never just Wednesday here on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR. Right, Dana?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Things are as they should be. We've got the team together, including Dana with the traffic and weather first, and then Sean Belegian and Ann Thomas by my side, which you can actually now see on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and WJR.com for this special virtual Nurses Week celebration on this day, featuring our partners at Michigan Medicine Nurses. And, of course, some guys seem to have it made. Some guys seem to have it all. You know, I have to tell you, there is a lesson out there that has said the grass isn't always greener over there. I mean, you have to realize the grass is not always greener over there. That is, of course, unless you're Tom Brady.
Wow, he's going to make a ton of money.
No, he already has made a ton of money.
He's going to make more.
He's going to make another ton of money.
Those numbers are jaw-dropping, Paul.
When he feels like he really wants to retire from playing football, Fox has assured him that his retirement will not be a tough retirement, because they will add to his bank account once he retires from football, making millions and millions of dollars. They're going to pay him $375 million to be an analyst.
Isn't that incredible?
And his wife still makes more money than he does, yeah. $40 million a year.
Well,
so when I say the grass isn't always greener on the other side, in this case, it is.
It's bright green.
It's very bright green.
Paul, 10-year, $375 million contract.
$37 million a year.
The most lucrative in sports broadcasting history. Of course, at the end of those 10 years will be 152, because I'm convinced he's not going to retire for another 40 years. He's just not. But it's interesting because Kevin Burkhardt from Fox Corp said he will not only call our biggest NFL games, he will serve as an ambassador for us, particularly with respect to client and promotional initiatives.
And why not?
So he's going to do that circuit.
Unless there's some bad thing that happens, and I hope and pray it never does for him, he'd be a great spokesperson for any company. And I think it was probably very smart of Fox to step up and lock him up before anyone else did. And said to be the biggest contract in sports broadcasting history. He'll still be a part of the game he loves. He just won't be being physically tackled and beaten up when they can catch him, when they can get him behind the line. But now he'll learn what it's like to be criticized for having one opinion or another, which is what sports broadcasters go through. I think he'll be able to handle it.
Yeah. It's the crazy thing about this is they said it's entirely up to Brady when he retires. The contract's waiting for him. Could you imagine? My goodness gracious.
A lot of people thought that his post-football life would be in Hollywood. He's currently filming 80 for Brady, a movie starring Jane Fonda, Sally Field, and more. Now, Fox didn't jump the gun, really, because an announcement had come first. that Troy Aikman signed a deal with ESPN. Any word on the money on that?
I did not hear that. It's going to be interesting, though, because I think Troy was a little agitated in the past because his one of his predecessors with the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Romo, got a massive contract. And I don't think that rubbed Troy Aikman too well, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, that happens. These things happen. I mean, we have guys that sign contracts that almost don't care what it is as long as it's more than the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of the way it's gone in that business. A great story.
Paul, the number, 5-year, $90 million.
So he gets 5 years, and he thought that was a good deal.
Yep. Yep.
Until this announcement.
Romo had
Until Brady's announcement came out.
Romo's was 10 years, $180 million.
Was that to be a broadcaster?
Yeah, Tony Romo is with CBS, and then Aikman, 5 years, 90. So, yes.
And Brady 10
blew
years,
them away.
$375 million.
My goodness.
All right, next time we get a break and we talk, let's remember to bring up this incredible story. You can maybe look for it on your computer in the meantime, of Elizabeth Bonker at Rollins College in Florida. Was that Winter Park, Florida?
Winter Park, Florida. Yes, sir.
She made the commencement address at her college without uttering a word from her own mouth. And all I'll tell you is that she is a nonverbal autistic young lady. And if you can find that online,
Awesome.
It was ABC News last night.
Yep. Paul, that was, you and I were talking, that was awesome.
Awesome. Oh, birthdays. I'm behind. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. I wish our neighbor, Jana Brownell, Jana and Steve. Jana celebrated her birthday, a few days ago, May 6th. And then our dear friends, you remember I've talked about Leszek, an incredible handyman, works at a hospital and is a handyman and does a great job. But his lovely wife, Anya Spiewak. Anya celebrated her birthday, what is today? 2 days ago, Monday. She celebrated her birthday, and I meant to mention happy birthday to Anya as well. All right. We, of course, take care of a little business at this time every morning. We check in with WJR's Jeff Sloan. He's the founder and CEO of Startup Nation, spotlighting the entrepreneurial tech and startup community right here on WJR. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Paul. What advice were entrepreneurs getting during the pandemic? Go online. And that they did. And many were rewarded with a timely decision to focus primarily on e-commerce as their business model. However, could that party be short-lived? Could all that be changing in this post-pandemic era? Looks like that may indeed be the case, given that e-commerce is beginning to cool. Now, cooling is one thing, but to be sure, e-commerce is not going away. Even the big guys, though, are feeling it as Wayfair, Etsy, and eBay, even Amazon, for example, are reporting falling online sales revenue currently. What's happening? Well, one might think that it's an issue with overall consumer spending being pulled back, but that's not it. In fact, retail spending overall is up 7.2% from this time last year. The issue for online sales is that first and foremost, people are returning to do their shopping in store. MasterCard reports that in-store shopping increased 10% for the month of April, while e-commerce sales slipped about 2%. So what does all this mean for small business owners? Well, first of all, I view this as a likely market correction. People were at home during the pandemic, and to fill their time, many turned to online shopping. Some even viewed online shopping as a form of entertainment, and spend they did, even to the point of creating superheated sales online. And of course, during the pandemic, in-store shopping was either non-existent or practically so. And now that the pandemic is over, we are returning to a more natural balance between online and in-store shopping, setting aside current economic conditions such as inflation and its impact on consumer purchasing. For those small businesses that set up shop online during the pandemic, even though there's a downturn now, there is no question that the future still holds tremendous opportunity and promise. The best approach these days is a blend between online and offline that offers consumers choice and creates an omnipresent opportunity for them to purchase from you wherever they want to make that happen. So stay the course, small businesses, in spite of the current economic downturn in online sales. This too shall pass, Paul. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, and that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2022 Women Who Lead class. Lynette Dowler, president and chairman of the DTE Energy Foundation, says she has the best job in the company, helping Michigan nonprofits.
We find nonprofit organizations that are aligned with us from a mission perspective and really are uplifting their communities.
To learn more about Lynette Dowler, go to WJR.com. Special thanks to General Motors and Lear for supporting Women Who Lead.
Do appreciate that, General Motors and Lear Corporation, for that support always. You already know that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan has the largest network of top doctors and hospitals in all of Michigan. But what you may not know is Blue Cross is making it easier than ever for you to see these top doctors. You can see these top doctors however, whenever, and wherever you need to see them. And that means you can get the care you need on your terms through office visits, telehealth, 24-hour nurse line, mental health support, urgent care, and more, giving you the confidence in knowing that you and your family are covered no matter what. No wonder Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is the name more people across the state have trusted for the past 83 years to help them live healthier lives. So whether it's a cough, a fever, a broken arm, or a broken spirit, Blue Cross is here for you anytime, anywhere, with access to support for both your physical and mental health, even from the privacy of your own home. Blue Cross is here for it all and always will be. Learn more at hereforitall.com. That's hereforitall.com. 718 at 760 WJR.
Hi, I'm Doug Manns. What makes us different? It's simple. It's our people. Our experienced and knowledgeable staff will help you with guidance, selection, and delivery for all your home improvement projects. Manns Lumber and Millwork, proudly servicing the building industry and homeowners since 1900.
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Dick Hafner.
One of the best ways for senior citizens.
Is she on mute?
Gwen, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear Paul. Are you on mute?
Excellent, excellent. All right, we just wanted to make sure your microphone worked.
Yeah.
You'll be on in just a second.
Okay. Thank you.
we can feel confident in retirement. It's time to take control of our financial future and not rely on the government, the stock market, or simply unexpected luck to provide us with financial stability. Yes, I still buy lottery tickets. It's time to call Principium. Call Chris Alberta at 888-800-8949, 888-800-8949, and set up a no-obligation visit to discuss your retirement. And just like me, you'll be glad you did. 721 at 760 WJR.
Join Ann Thomas and Luann Thomas Ewald for Women Who Lead on WJR, a spotlight show on women who are leading the way in business, civics, and humanity. Women Who Lead, brought to you in part by Michigan Medicine, part of University of Michigan Health.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
New accident in Lyon Township, 96 westbound at Old Plank Road. Collision there blocking your left 2 lanes. A slow from Wixom Road in the construction area of 75 southbound at 12 Mile. Earlier accident. Still working to clear. The left lane is blocked. Traffic getting by in that right lane only. Now a 50-minute delay from Rochester Road. Serious house fire in Lyon Township along 8 Mile. That is shut down both directions, eastbound and westbound between Griswold and Meadowbrook. Avoid the area. Fire crews are on the scene. Take 7 or 9 Mile instead. 696 westbound, slow between DeQuinder and 75. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Sunny's Pools. Get ready for summer fun with Sunny's Pools and more. Unwind with a new swimming pool or hot tub and enjoy endless backyard vacations with family and friends this summer. Visit sunnypoolsandmore.com. Sunny's Pools and More, serving Southeast Michigan families since 1967.
If you're thinking this is unusual for this time of year, it is. It's about 12, 13 degrees above normal in the daytime highs. Clouds will give way to some sun today. Even on the overnight lows, it's mild, as we are this morning. And with that sun this afternoon, 81. Tonight, clear, 55. Suburbs a little bit cooler. Thursday, sunshine, low 80s. Friday, a few clouds around with highs in the low 80s. From a Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik on News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR. Presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at MichiganAnswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
724, and it's hard to find a business that isn't struggling with the nationwide labor shortage. Healthcare certainly must be feeling the impact, I would imagine. We're checking in right now with Gwen Curley, nurse and physician assistant recruiter. Good morning, Gwen. Welcome to WJR.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, it is our pleasure. How is U of M Health handling nurse recruitment these days?
You know, Paul, I don't think anyone could have imagined the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic would have had on the healthcare industry and our workforce in general. The sheer dynamic of the pandemic, we've often described here at Michigan Medicine as navigating through uncharted waters. And so it has been challenging for all of us. But happy to report that we have been successful in navigating those waters and the waves that have come with this pandemic over the last 2.5 years by continuing to recruit to our workforce to enable us to serve our communities and families that come to us for their health care.
Well, that's excellent news. I mean, that certainly sounds very positive. What are some of the things, Gwen, that you think have buffered the impact of the labor shortage for U of M Health nursing?
You know, I think a lot of it really I could describe in 2 ways. One is the people that we have working for us, the culture of Michigan Medicine, and the ability to recruit to that. We recently were redesignated as a magnet institution. That means that we are able to draw talent to our health system because of the outcomes that we preserve. We've not gone unscathed by the pandemic, that is for sure. But I think it's the preparation and the people. Preparing for an emergency like a pandemic, 2 years ago, our chief nurse put together a nurse recruitment and retention department. And it's been 2 decades where we have really developed our department in preparing to enhance the workforce that we've needed over the years. But really in the last 2 years, with these waves of the pandemic, you go back to 2020 when we were standing up possibly a field hospital on the track and field facility at U of M, or standing up a vaccination clinic at the top of the big house. These challenges were really uncharted. We didn't know we would have to be prepared for that. But having the pipeline and the tools and the systems for us to be able to draw workforce that's needed with these unprecedented workforce needs and demands, it really has allowed us to continue to recruit to that. It is no miss that part of our mission is not just recruitment, but it's retention of our talent. If you're not retaining your talent, you are on a retention or recruitment revolving door. And it's not unusual to see someone who's been a nurse at U of M like I have for 32 years. That is not unusual.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've been a cardiac nurse, and I have served in many roles in Michigan.
Right out of grade school. I didn't know they could hire you right out of grade
Thank
school.
you.
Gwen?
No, but that is not unusual. When you talk to people, we have been here and developed our careers at Michigan Medicine because the opportunities are there. We are 6,200 strong for the nursing at Michigan workforce, and growing, because obviously we need more nurses to take care of our communities and serve in a different way, and telehealth and hospital at home efforts to be able to serve the public in a different way coming out of the pandemic.
You've done a great job, and U of M recruits well from all the nursing schools in the area and regionally at all levels, all salary points. Gwen, what would you like all of us to know about nursing at Michigan?
I just, it's a great opportunity. Thank you for inviting us, because it just really, I would like your listeners to take a moment and maybe thank not just nurses. We have a whole week of nurses, but healthcare providers in general. I mean, it's been a difficult 2 years navigating through this pandemic. They are selfless individuals, people who continue to stay in the arena and serve to the public. We often thank our military service people. My husband's a Marine Corps officer, so
Semper Fi.
Thank you. But I really do think the frontline heroes and the leaders in healthcare really need to be thanked, not just in nursing, but even inpatient clerks and MAs. So yeah, I'd like them to know nursing at Michigan is thriving, but to take a moment and thank your healthcare provider.
I am so glad that you did that. That was lovely and important. And let's face it, for all of us, it goes a long way when we all feel appreciated doing whatever it is we do, and we feel valued for the sacrifices made in the service to others. And that goes absolutely, totally when it comes to nurses and everyone in the healthcare community. Gwen Curley, nurse and physician assistant recruiter for an unbelievable 32 years at Michigan. Thank you so much. Have a very special week, and every day should be special for you and all the nurses you represent. Thanks, Gwen.
Thank you.
As we continue on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR at 7:30, coming up.
Hey, I'm Jake from Long Island, and my portfolio performance honestly just wasn't cutting it. I was looking for something more. So I researched alternative investments like crypto and NFTs, but they didn't make sense to me. Then I read about Masterworks and Forbes. I did my research and invested over $55,000 with them. I know it was the smart thing to do. I tell all my family and friends about Masterworks, and now I'm telling you.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Is your child getting the personalized attention they need to excel in math? Mathnasium has a solution for students of all skill levels. We assess each child's strengths and weaknesses, creating a customized learning plan. The Mathnasium method gives them the critical thinking skills they need to thrive, with the option to attend face-to-face online sessions or come to one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Mathnasium. We're changing lives through math. Learn more at mathnasium.com.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. The Senate gears up for a vote today on a nationwide abortion protection bill.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says,
now we know women's rights are at stake. So this vote is the first step. We are going to keep fighting.
But that procedural step will fail, likely several or more votes shy of the 60 needed to overcome a filibuster. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell doubts any federal abortion legislation could win a supermajority.
Fox's Jared Halpern. And Arizona set to carry out its first execution in nearly 8 years. Clarence Dixon convicted of killing a college student in 1978.
Last night, the Ninth Circuit Federal Appeals Court refused to overturn state court rulings that found Dixon mentally competent to be executed, despite his attorney's claims that he is schizophrenic and does not understand what's happening to him.
Fox's Jack Callahan. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples offers tech solutions and accessories for learners, small business, and remote workers, too. Right now, Apple AirPods Pro are only $199. You save $50. Offer ends 5/14 while supplies last. Limit 2. Explore the latest tech solutions at Staples, the working and learning store.
Couple of trouble spots in Lyon Township. Let's start with a collision 96 westbound at Old Plank Road. Accident blocking your 2 left lanes. A delay from Wixom Road. House fire also in Lyon Township. Avoid 8 Mile, both directions eastbound and westbound between Griswold and Meadowbrook. Fire crews are on the scene. Try 7 or 9 Mile instead. Earlier accident in the construction zone of 75 southbound at 12 Mile. That is clear. Still watching about a 45-minute backup from Rochester Road. And a slow ride along the Ruther 696 westbound between 11 Mile and 75. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Weingarts. Join Weingarts during their Time to Mow sale going on now. Let their experts help you find innovative products for your lawn from top brands like Honda lawnmowers, generators, pumps, and tillers. All exhibit impressive innovation that delivers tremendous productivity and reliability. Visit Weingarts.com to see their complete equipment lineup and shop parts online. This longest stretch of 80-degree weather since last August. Hopefully you are enjoying the sunshine. More of it this afternoon. Cloudy start, but a sun coming in after about noon today. A high of 82 tonight to partly cloudy. Overnight low 54. More of the same on Thursday. Few clouds to start, but mainly sunshine in the afternoon. A high of 82 once again. Sun trying to peek out right now. Current temp about 62 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Head north with Wjr Marine, Northern Michigan's largest boat dealer and full-service marina. Proudly serving the Great Lakes boating community for 76 years. Carrying luxury lines from Tiara, Pursuit, Chris Craft, Sea Ray, Lund, and Crest. Their expert staff can also offer you a free market evaluation on your current boat. Getting you into the boat of your dreams has never been easier. Visit them at Wallstrom.com to find your nearest Northern Michigan location, spanning from Lake Huron to Lake Michigan and inland lakes between. Wallstrom Marine, boating made easy.
Love those guys at Wallstrom Marine. In fact, we're going to be going out and sometime relatively soon, I think, to do a couple of broadcasts with Wallstrom Marine. Is that out? That's on the. I had to see it on the calendar. So
yes, you're right. Mid-June.
Mid-June. Okay. We've talked about the employee retention tax credit and how the attorneys at AR Law can help business owners benefit from that program. You should know, too, that AR Law specializes in anything having to do with taxes, the Internal Revenue Service, Michigan state taxes. AR Law has been doing that kind of work years before anyone ever heard of an employee retention tax credit. They've been doing it for over a decade. If you have a tax problem, look, a tax audit is scary no matter what. I mean, you did everything right, you think, but you want to make sure, and you want to make sure you have the right person or people working with you to resolve the problem. You cannot run and you cannot hide from the Internal Revenue Service. And there are tax resolution scammers out there who prey on our fears and don't deliver on their promises. AR Law is different. I mean, really different, starting with the fact that AR Law is an actual law firm based right here in Michigan. They've been resolving people's tax problems for over a decade, as I mentioned. Having met Wjr AR, knowing that he's one to not back down from a fight. I mean, he's not cruising for a bruising. He's not out there looking for a fight if he can avoid it and get you out of trouble with the Internal Revenue Service or the state of Michigan taxes. But he's not afraid to take on the IRS or anyone else on your behalf. If you have issues with the IRS, you should call AR, AYAR, AR Law right away. Talk to Wjr AR about how to solve these problems. That's a big load off your back. The number is 800-513-5315. 800-513-5315. AR, AYAR, law. 736 at 760 WJR.
Did you know that most adults with autism are unemployed, and a major hurdle is the lack of job opportunities? That's why Autism Speaks is teaming up with Lee Container, the J. Donald and Laurel Lee Family Foundation Fund, and Delivering Jobs to create a more inclusive workforce in the U.S. Are you an HR professional, community leader, or business owner? Join us in creating a workforce where people of all abilities can contribute and thrive. To learn more, visit autismspeaks.org/employment.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR, presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at michigananswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
I'm happily told that you can actually see the Block M on my lapel. Ann says she can see it on the monitor there. It's I don't wear this very often. It's the American flag and the flag of University of Michigan with the Block M on there. Meanwhile, we continue on Nurses Week, featuring Michigan Medicine nurses, our partners, and we salute all nurses this week, and they should be saluted every day, frankly. But there's other things going on, too, and Marie Osborne has picked up on a story. Since it is the graduation season, she says none can compare to one that took place Monday in Ionia, Michigan. This graduation was inside the walls of a prison, and some of the newly minted graduates will never see life outside of those walls. Our WJR senior news analyst, Marie Osborne, with the rest of the story. Marie?
Good morning, Paul. This graduation took place at the Handlon Correctional Facility. The graduates, all wearing caps and gowns, were among three classes, 2020, 21, 22. 45 inmates receiving bachelor degrees. Another 31 received associate degrees. And this is a joint program between Calvin University and the Michigan Department of Corrections. It's a 5-year program, and students take classes in philosophy and pastoral care. The degree is a BA in faith and community leadership. 20 new candidates are accepted into the program every year. And after graduation, those who are still behind bars will be sent to other Michigan prisons where they'll work with other inmates in a variety of programs. The cost of all this is about $800,000 a year to run the program. At first, it was funded by private donors. In recent years, they've actually had been able to get Pell Grants available to the prisoners to cover the tuition costs. Now, the program was modeled after a similar one at the Louisiana State Penitentiary. You may have heard of Angola Prison. They have a similar program there. And that prison saw a massive reduction in violence after a college degree program was established there in the early 1990s. Now, while Calvin is the first to have a bachelor's degree, graduates in prison, other Michigan private and public universities are getting onto this, and they're participating in similar programs. Prison officials say this was the first bachelor's degree ceremony inside an active prison in history.
Isn't that something?
Amazing.
That is amazing. That's a gem of a little story that you picked up there. And we've known for a long time, there's been national research that's shown that prisoners who get an education while incarcerated are less likely to be rearrested or convicted and returned to prison. That alone makes it worth its weight in gold.
Right. So the prisoners who get their degrees and are able to, they maybe fulfill their prison sentence and go out into the world, they do better. But also the ones who have life in prison. I mean, they're there for the rest of their lives.
That's a surprising one to me, that they would even put in the effort. They know they're they believe, maybe they believe otherwise, but they're not supposed to see the light of day. These days, that may or may not really mean something, but to know that you're going to be in prison the rest of your life and still seeing the value in education really saying something.
It is, and I think it's, reading some of the accounts of what happened on Monday, that, talking to some of the prisoners, them saying that it was a sense of accomplishment for themselves. Many said no one in their family has ever been to college, much less graduated from college, and that this was something they accomplished. Maybe if you can imagine this, the first thing they ever accomplished in their life.
Something
The very
positive.
first
Yeah,
thing that they've
yeah.
ever accomplished, and they did it. They did it on their own.
Well,
Bi
it's go ahead.
I was just gonna say big kudos to Calvin College,
Yeah,
Calvin University, by
big
the way.
kudos, and I forgot what I was going to say, but it's an accomplishment. It's something good that they're doing and that they get credit for. When you say they haven't had other accomplishments, it changes the atmosphere in a prison, which is extremely important. I mean, prisons have been just prisons for a long time. They have not really worked to rehabilitate people, which is why we've kind of had a revolving door. People go, they get out, they come back. They haven't learned anything better along the way. If this is teaching them something better, that's good. I hope they wear caps and gowns and stuff, do the whole thing.
They wore wearing caps and gowns. They took pictures with the university president. I
that's
mean,
fun.
the whole 9 yards. And by the way, they got the folder, the little leatherette folder with their degree inside, with their name on it and everything. So they could open it and look at it. I mean, we all,
That's
we
nice.
look at that and we think back to our college days and think that was an accomplishment.
Absolutely. That's I was going to say I still look at mine with pride every day, except I don't know where mine is. It was a long time ago, and we've moved and we've had floods and all of that. Since you're thinking about graduations, I would point out something Sean and I talked about earlier, Marie Osborne, and that is we watched at the end of ABC News I watch them all. I tape them and I watch them all. The end of ABC News, young Elizabeth Bonker from Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida. She was the valedictorian and commencement speaker. She is a non-communicative, non-speaking, I should say, autistic person. And so she had to, in advance, type out one letter at a time on a machine that would give her voice. And she did her whole speech ahead of time and then played that tape and just stood there. I mean, I first watched it, I watched the news kind of, and her lips aren't moving, and I'm hearing her talk, and then I rewound it and tuned back into what was happening. Very touching, if you can find that on ABC News, on their website. Last story last night.
Greatness comes in all forms, right?
It does indeed. It merely needs an opportunity.
To shine.
Yep. Thank you, Marie
you.
Osborne, WJR Senior News Analyst. I hope we have time to discuss what you, Ann, and I were discussing earlier.
I don't think there will be enough time.
It's apparently a problem that I am not facing alone. I was starting to say something, and Ann just kind of cut me off and finished. And I said, wait a minute, I'm not finished. I didn't even ask the question. Oh, look at how she's treating me now. And Marie said, oh, I know. John says that all the time. He says, I don't let him actually ask the question. He starts to ask and I answer it. And we go, well, that's the same thing you guys have yelled at the husbands for doing, not listening and answering before you're done with your question. It doesn't make it better or right if you make the same mistake we make.
This is true. However, I mean, you guys are so predictable. That's the problem.
Well, maybe you guys are too.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Women are
I could have
alluring and mysterious.
I could have predicted that answer. 7:45 at WJR.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. With gas prices at all-time highs, now's the time to donate.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
With your donation, you'll receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher, so donate today.
I want to thank the extra people in the studios and in the production area for our special salute to nurses during Nurses Week, featuring our partners, our Michigan medicine nurses. And that's Cefe Puente, who makes these things happen from a business standpoint. Curtis Paul, who's in charge of all this rigmarole getting us online and seeing us wherever you're seeing us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, WJR.com. And then the one and only Ray Templin, who'd rather be sailing, who is here in the studio in case I catch on fire or something. I'm not sure what else you're doing here. Oh, making sure the cameras are working. I gotcha. Now I get it. Okay. As the season gets warmer, and how about yesterday, 81 degrees? Although I was 12 degrees cooler in Grosse Pointe than downtown Detroit. 12 degrees. That's a lot. Is that the lake effect? I guess. But as the season gets warmer, you're probably spending a good amount of time outside. I hope you are. You're better off being outside. It's healthier. Now, if you're like me, you are most likely spending a decent amount of time in your backyard, whether it's watching the sunset, sitting out during a rainstorm, singing with the birds, entertaining much of that time spent under a Marygrove awning. One of my favorite parts of the awning is the built-in LED lights, which allow me to host events well into the night at the click of a button. These lights have become so popular that Marygrove has decided to offer them free on all new 2022 models. Marygrove can have an awning expert walk you through color selection, frame options, accessories in under 24 hours from your initial contact. Under 24 hours. Now, once you make your selections, their award-winning customer service team can install your awning in industry-leading times. And this is a company I trust. I trust Mike Fallahy. He could not have gotten as big as he is without being as good as he is. Schedule an in-home appointment today at marygrove.com. That's marygrove.com, or call 1-800-44-AWNING to schedule today. That's 1-800-44-AWNING. 748 at 760 WJR.
Hi, folks. Craig Hubble, General Manager at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester. We have new Cadillacs arriving here every day. I bet I have the new Cadillac you've been waiting for in stock, or we can order one for you. And here, we'll make sure that you have a seamless transition into your new Cadillac. We're experts at employee pricing. We're pulling ahead Cadillac leases every day, and my price will be unmatched. Please call us now, see us on Rochester Road, or see our inventory at CrestviewCadillac.com.
Chuck and Ken here, the inside-outside guys.
We are here with Ken Rogalski to talk about his experience with CertaPro painters.
CertaPro painters have something that's rare. The power of pro.
The power of pro?
That's right. CertaPro painters have powers far beyond those of ordinary painters. The power of timeliness. They show up when they say they will. The power of doing it right. They protect your property as if it were their own. And the power of minimal disruption. They work with you to ensure a smooth project.
Been saying it for years. Nothing beats a paint job by the pros.
No doubt about it. CertaPro painters did a great job painting my home's exterior. Now they're working on the interior as well with the power of pro.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. They're right here in our community. Exterior or interior, for your home or business, CertaPro painters can take care of it all.
CertaPro painters, the power of pro. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This spring, let Audible bring a smile with comedy, sci-fi, thrillers, or whatever you love listening to. From audiobooks to exclusive originals to podcasts, find it all on Audible. Sign up and start free at audible.com.
96 westbound at Old Plank Road. Earlier accident continues to block your two left lanes. A stop and go from Wixom Road. Traveling eastbound along 96, watch for construction. Has a left lane closed. A slow ride between Kensington and Kent Lake. 15-minute backup from US 23. House fire. Crews on the scene working that area. 8 miles shut down eastbound and westbound between Griswold and Meadowbrook. Crews, as I mentioned, have been on the scene putting out that blaze. Try 7 or 9 mile instead. Slow ride along 275 northbound between Ford Road down to M14. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Got clouds and a little breeze around, but the mild weather really stealing the headlines. Should be in real good shape here for the rest of the week. Clouds with some sun today. Mild start and a warm finish at 81, 13 above normal. Tonight down to 55 in clear, suburbs a tad cooler. Thursday, sunshine 82. Friday, a few clouds and high in the low 80s. From a Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stidgick. News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR. Presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at michigananswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
All right, as we continue, we have 63 degrees. I think the high was 81 yesterday, and I think that there's a good chance we're hitting that again today, right? All right, lots of sunshine. It's a beautiful morning, that's for sure. Enjoy every beautiful morning you can, or look for the beauty in every morning. It may be another way of putting it. Happy to say hi to Olivia Gough. Olivia is a nurse in the pediatric oncology unit at CS Mott Children's Hospital. Happy Nurses Week to you, Olivia, and all the nurses you represent.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate it so much. And thank you so much for having me as well.
Well, it's our pleasure because I think one of the reasons we have you is because of your history, your own personal history, and maybe what made you decide you wanted to be a pediatric oncology nurse. Tell us your story, Olivia.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2012. So actually today is my 10-year anniversary from being diagnosed.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And then, I was treated at CS Mott. And then I did relapse when I was 21. So I did a lot of time inpatient. But, going from that patient side, I really, really appreciated all my nurses that I had. They made a huge difference in my day. And it was a bad experience, but they made it good. My nurses made it amazing.
Well, they certainly made an impact on you as a young girl, diagnosed with cancer 2 times before you turned 21.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
So when you were thankful that you had the care you had at CS Mott Children's Hospital, when did it hit you that you could maybe, I don't know, give back and help other children who would possibly be going through what you went through, and then made the actual decision to be a nurse?
Yeah. So since I can remember, I've always wanted to be in the medical field. And nursing was one of those top choices for me. But when I was sick, I knew I wanted to do pediatrics, but when I was sick, here I was 21 years old, still, on the pediatric side, and I would be having such a horrible day, and I would see, these little 2 to 3-year-olds, outside of my door, running around with their IV poles, and happy, and just, getting through their life with cancer, because that's all they knew at the time. And, I thought kids are so resilient, more resilient than adults. And that's when I decided, I want to do pediatric oncology. Just seeing those kids be the way they are when they're so sick. And I mean, I can't tell you enough how resilient kids are. It's amazing to see how sick they can get and then how much they bounce back with little to no complaints. It's amazing.
Well, and on the sad side of this, I mean, people might say, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could work in oncology and see so many people lose their battle. Well, lots of people, more and more every day, are winning that battle.
Yes.
But even those that are not, I think that they become wise beyond their years, and they teach us about living and life, even if they are not able to.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. The last 3 years, working on that unit, it's been, there's been a lot of ups and downs. We've lost some patients, and it's been really, really, really devastating. But it does make you appreciate life a little bit more. You come home to your own life, and you hug your loved ones a little more, and it's so sad, but it just makes you appreciate life a little bit more.
Well, and we all need to do that, appreciate life a little bit more. What has surprised you about being a nurse, Olivia?
I think I'm most surprised about how hard it actually is. You think a lot of people go to their job day to day and, do what they need to do. And being a nurse, you kind of walk in and not know what to expect, especially inpatient. You never know what's going to happen. And it is really, really hard. Those 12-hour days are long, and, you're taking care of not one patient, but multiple patients, and it can really wear on you. And I think that was the most surprising thing for me, was to see how hard it actually, is. It's more than a job. It's you're taking care of somebody. And so I think that was the most surprising thing. So even though it's hard, it is the most rewarding job.
Well, I tell you, nurse burnout has been a problem for a very long time, well before the pandemic. Now it's even harder with the pandemic. I hope you're hanging in there. I hope that your friends and your colleagues are hanging in there.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we are. We all support each other, and we have very open communication with how we're feeling and how we're doing, and so that's been a big help too.
Well, I just want to say I'm glad that we could salute you, and you represent so many other nurses.
Thank you.
And just very quickly, is there one thing that makes you most proud to be a nurse?
I think just to say I am a nurse. I think that's my proudest thing, is to say I am a nurse, just knowing what we all do. And, I'm proud to be a nurse at Michigan Medicine, and I can't wait to see what my future holds there.
I have a feeling the future is going to be just better and better. Olivia Gough, nurse, pediatric oncology unit, CSMont Children's Hospital. After being diagnosed with cancer 2 times before she turned 21, she knew exactly what she wanted to be and do, and she's doing it. Congratulations, Olivia. Thanks so much for being with us. Happy Nurses Week, and every day may we all celebrate you and the people you represent. Thank you so much, Olivia.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
Facing financial and emotional hurdles impacts thousands of individuals and families in Michigan, struggling to address mental, physical, and emotional challenges every day. Hi, I'm Josh Swaninger, president of Spectrum Human Services and affiliated companies. Since 1976, our team has been an advocate for those without a voice. We respectfully provide care, support, and resources for so many with nowhere else to turn, but we cannot do it alone. The past year has been incredibly hard for all of us, but you can find joy by giving hope to another. Please join our mission to actively make a difference in your community and pay it forward. You might even be surprised by the impact service to others will have on your own life. Get involved with Spectrum Human Services by calling us at 734-458-8736. Again, that's 734-458-8736. Or visit us on the web at spectrumhuman.org. Again, that's spectrumhuman.org. Thank you and be well.
Spring is here, and many of us want to get outside and enjoy that outdoor living space. Well, at Motor City Floors and Coatings, they can improve your backyard getaway and curb appeal with their innovative one-day concrete coating system, transforming your concrete patio, porch, walkway, garage, and basement, making it 4 times stronger than epoxy, 100% UV stable and slip resistant, and all backed by a 15-year warranty. As a trusted team partner of WJR's Inside Outside Guys, they have transformed thousands of Metro Detroit homes and businesses and are committed to giving you high-quality and long-lasting floors that will look beautiful for many years to come. Now's the time to get on their spring and summer schedule. Call today for a free estimate, 248-613-5888, 248-613-5888, or visit MotorCityFloorsandCoatings.com. That's MotorCityFloorsandCoatings.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
More record highs at the pump. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
So why do gas prices keep going up so high?
President Biden wondered that aloud. He's blamed Russia's invasion, oil companies, and Republicans for not doing enough. But GOP Senator John Thune points a finger right back.
His administration right now has no solution except to spend more.
Gas is up 3 more cents today. AAA's national average for regular now a record $4.40 per gallon. In about a half hour, we'll get the April inflation report. Consumer prices have surged lately at levels not seen in 40 years. Pro-choice activists planned more protests today outside Supreme Court justices' homes, angering Republicans.
The message behind showing up at someone's houses
We know where you live. We're going to make you uncomfortable. We're going to make your family uncomfortable.
And Senator Marco Rubio says there's a risk someone could get violent. But Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar tells Fox.
The Supreme Court itself has heard this argument, and they have themselves said it is protected by the First Amendment.
After last week's leaked draft opinion showing conservative justices ready to overturn the ruling that gave women the right to choose, today Senate Democrats will vote on a bill to legalize abortion nationwide, but without Republican support, it'll fail. The two parties do agree on this.
The Ukrainian people, they need us. They are in desperate need of our support.
Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro and the Democrats were joined by most Republicans approving $40 billion more. Fox's Jill Nato.
The package gives Ukraine military and humanitarian aid. It goes to the Senate next, but it's not clear when they'll vote on it. But the bill already has support from Republican Lindsey Graham.
It puts weapons in the hands of the Ukrainian military who are fighting like tigers.
Another primary win for a Trump-backed candidate, Alex Mooney in West Virginia.
Really helped let the vote know that there's a true conservative in the race.
The Republican beat fellow GOP Congressman David McKinley, but in Nebraska, the former president's chosen candidate for governor, Charles Herbster, lost the Republican primary. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. When you buy a home with Rocket Mortgage, you'll have a team of experts to help you every step of the way. Forget unwanted surprises and unanswered questions. That's not how they work. You'll feel informed and confident at every turn. When you're ready to buy or refinance, Rocket can.
In Farmington Hills, 696 eastbound at Middle Belt, a new accident blocking that left center lane, a delay from Orchard Lake Road. Also a new crash along 94 eastbound after 96 blocks a left lane, 18-minute delay from Lanyo. 96 westbound at Old Plank Road, accident blocking your two left lanes. Seeing at least over an hour and a half delay. You are backed up in that area from Beck Road. 696 westbound, slow between Shaner and 75 and 275 northbound. Brake light spotted between Ford Road down to M14. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and IBEW Local 58. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors and IBEW electricians to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. Productivity and innovation matter. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. Nice stretch of weather continues today and for the rest of the week. It looks like a first chance of rain happening on Saturday. Sun and clouds mixed today. More clouds this morning, more sunshine this afternoon. A high of 82 tonight. Partly cloudy overnight, low 54. More of the same on Thursday. Few clouds from time to time. Lots of sunshine. In the 80s once again. Sunshine right now, 63 degrees, partly cloudy, I should say. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather first.
I'm Nan Thomas.
And I'm Dr. Carol Kowalczyk.
On tonight's Healthy Woman Show, brought to you by the Michigan Center for Fertility and Women's Health.
We're talking about the 4 F's: fertility, flowers, fitness, and fashion.
Tonight at 7.
Did you know that most adults with autism are unemployed, and a major hurdle is the lack of job opportunities? That's why Autism Speaks is teaming up with Lee Container, the J. Donald and Laurel Lee Family Foundation Fund, and Delivering Jobs to create a more inclusive workforce in the U.S. Are you an HR professional, community leader, or business owner? Join us in creating a workforce where people of all abilities can contribute and thrive. To learn more, visit autismspeaks.org/employment.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
Detroit alumni, come home and celebrate legendary success for a weekend with Detroit Public Schools Community District. Join us Thursday, May 19th for an evening of fine arts at the Fox Theater, and then live it up at Friday's alumni meet and greet at the DAC. On Saturday, reconnect at the Taste of Livernois Block Party, and then celebrate in style at DPSCD's Alumni Hall of Fame Gala, Sunday, May 22nd. Get your tickets now at DetroitK12.org/ come home.
Tom Jordan here. When I travel to Mackinac Island, I hightail it with a Starline Mackinac Island Ferry Company hydrojet or catamaran ferry. The only fast, frequent, family-friendly hydrojet service to Mackinac Island. To get tickets starting at $19.95, visit MackinacFerry.com.
This is Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR. It's a salute to Nurses Week, presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at MichiganAnswers.com. Here's Paul.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is the 11th of May, the 131st day of 2022. There are 234 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. We've got the team together and then some. And not only do we celebrate all week, Nurses Week, and today a very special salute to nurses. And thanks to our partners at Michigan Medicine and the Michigan Medicine nurses and all the nurses they represent all over the country. It is also a special day here on the Paul W. Smith Show because it's never just a Wednesday, right, Dana?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! That's right. It is hump day. And it's getting more and more expensive to get over the hump. Patrick DeHaan warned us, gas buddy, head of petroleum analysis. He said this day would be here. It's here. And it's not done going up, in my opinion. Patrick, good morning. Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show.
Thanks for having me back. Good morning.
Here we are, $4.37 a gallon. That's a new record high. And remember, that's the average. We still have people going over that by far. Heck, California, Hawaii, Nevada, they're well over $5 a gallon now.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty apocalyptic numbers. You know, the sub $4 prices have largely disappeared across not only Metro Detroit, but much of the state. But, you know, hopefully you're sitting down because, diesel, have you seen diesel? Over $5 a gallon in many areas.
Boy, oh boy. And just to, I don't need to remind us, but I will reiterate, the trucks are running on diesel. The trucks have had their hands full anyway with supply chain issues. Add to that a ridiculous expense, in effect, what's like hitting them with a new tax every time it goes up. Everything that they're carrying, which is everything in America, is going to cost more. So it's a vicious circle. Right. It's a vicious circle, Patrick, one feeding off the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, the increase in diesel has been so recent, or I should say kind of the second running of the bulls, if you will, has been so recent that this is something that you probably haven't yet felt when you go to the grocery store or the hardware store, et cetera. This is something that'll still trickle down because it's happened in the last week and a half or two.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate note, but very real note. And that is, we've all been complaining about how much everything is costing more, and we haven't even been affected yet by that increase in diesel. So we know automatically it's going to get worse. I know, as far as I remember, Patrick DeHaan, you do not have a crystal ball. But what are your thoughts for the future?
You know, we've gotten pretty much kicked in the teeth here, it seems like, over the last couple of months. I don't think it's going to get any better. Unfortunately, we may see a little bit of brief relief here and there, but nothing long term. And the concern is that there's a lot of complexities going into this. And one of them is that refining capacity has been diminished by over 1 million barrels since 2019. And that's part of the reason why diesel and gasoline prices are very high, especially diesel. Is simply because there's just not enough refining capacity. Diesel demand is very high. Plus the situation with Russia and Ukraine, while Europe gets a lot of its diesel from Russian heavy oil, and guess what? They're not anymore getting so much of it. And that's part of the reason why diesel has exploded. But we've lost several major refineries, one last year to Hurricane Ida, one in Canada to COVID that supplies the eastern coast. And 2019, a major refinery in Philadelphia caught fire and shut down permanently. So we're not going the right way on refining capacity, and that's why some of the struggles are here. So not only oil do we have to contend with this summer, but I think we all can remember, refinery shutdowns in the midst of hurricane season, or if they happen anytime, How many times have we talked about refineries, right? And now it's even more critical.
Right. And then there's that vicious circle I hate to bring up, but I have to. And that is, as the prices price certain people out of spending money on fuel that they would have. For example, they may not go on that drive for the vacation this summer. If they don't go on that drive because they don't want to spend what it costs per gallon, what happens? The refineries cut back a little bit just to handle what the needs are. And then when people start to drive again, then they run out of fuel because they cut back on the capacity in the first place because the way the capacity was affected by the higher fuel rates. It really is a vicious circle.
Yeah, it's very much a boom bust cycle. And we were through the bust cycle, right? COVID was kind of prompted a bust. Oil prices plummeted. Oil companies shut down production, right? We've all heard of what COVID did to U.S. oil production. But there is a little bit of decent news. U.S. oil production is increasing. We're back at about 11.8 million barrels a day. During the height of COVID, we fell to domestic oil production of 9.7 million barrels a day in late 2020. Call it summer of 2020 it was that oil production plummeted. But we're back up to 11.8. And I do expect that to continue moving up, probably at a snail's pace. But buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy and potentially painful summer. I think one remedy, Paul, it's probably anti-American to even suggest, is slowing down a couple miles an hour. There's a reason why in the 70s the government stepped in to cap the speed limit, because slowing down just a little bit can go a long way to reducing the nation's consumption of gasoline.
I got to ask you, I don't know if I ever asked you this because we argue about this. Well, when President Trump we were energy self-sufficient. Were we ever really, really energy self-sufficient?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. We've never stopped importing 5 to 7 million barrels of oil per day. So there's that. Not under President Trump, not under President Obama. And we're going to continue importing 5 to 7 million barrels a day because we export a lot of product, because we can refine at generally a lower price. That doesn't keep us susceptible from, succumbing to COVID when demand plummeted and some of the refineries shut down. But we've continued to import. Now the U.S. consumes about, 9 million barrels a day of gasoline. We consume 20 million barrels a day of oil, but a lot of that is exported. About 10 million barrels a day is exported.
Wow. I still like the idea of being energy independent.
Don't we all?
Yes, indeed. Patrick, go back to the bunker. You're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay.
We'll crawl out sometime.
All right. Thanks for your help, as always. Patrick DeHaan, gas buddy, head of petroleum analysis. That's a tough job to have. But remember, he's the messenger. He is the bearer of the bad news. He didn't cause it to happen. As we continue on the Paul W. Smith Show, Wednesday morning edition at 8:14.
Hi, folks. Craig Hubble, General Manager at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester. We have new Cadillacs arriving here every day. I bet I have the new Cadillac you've been waiting for in stock, or we can order one for you. And here, we'll make sure that you have a seamless transition into your new Cadillac. We're experts at employee pricing. We're pulling ahead Cadillac leases every day, and my price will be unmatched. Please call us now, see us on Rochester Road, or see our inventory at CrestviewCadillac.com.
Spring is here. There's no question about it. Heck, it might be deep summer, the way things have been going with the high in the 80s again today. We want to get outside and enjoy the outdoor living space that we have, whatever it might be. And believe me, it's healthier outside, out of doors, both for the body and the mind. Well, anyway, at Motor City Floors and Coatings, they can improve your backyard getaway and curb appeal with their innovative one-day concrete coating system, transforming your concrete patio, porch, walkway, garage, and basement, making it 4 times stronger than epoxy, 100% UV stable and slip-resistant, and all backed by a 15-year warranty. As a trusted team partner of WJR's Gold Standard, the Inside Outside guys, they have transformed thousands of Metro Detroit homes and businesses and are committed to giving you high-quality and long-lasting floors that will look beautiful for many years to come. Now's the time to get in on their spring and summer schedule as we have. Call today for a free estimate at 248-613-5888. That's 248-613-5888. Or visit MotorCityFloorsandCoatings.com. That's MotorCityFloorsandCoatings.com. Now, for those of you who listened carefully, last week I said we were about to have our floors done. And remember, they do it in a day. It's not this drawn-out thing. But your host blew it. There's no better way to put it. I blew it. I did not have the basement in the ready position that it needed to be. Their team showed up at my house, and they couldn't do the floors. So for those of you who were listening and heard me say the other day, oh, I'm so excited, today's the day, I blew it. No reason to go into great detail, but I blew it. So when they give you instructions to get your basement floor ready, make sure it is ready. So when they come in, they will do a tremendous job and do it quickly. Now we're waiting till mid-June. Get on their list. MotorCityFloorsandCoatings.com. Get on the schedule. Get a free estimate. MotorCityFloorsandCoatings.com. 817 at WJR with 64 sunny degrees.
Hey, I'm Jake from Long Island, and my portfolio performance honestly just wasn't cutting it. I was looking for something more. So I researched alternative investments like crypto and NFTs, but they didn't make sense to me. Then I read about Masterworks and Forbes. I did my research and invested over $55,000 with them. I know it was the smart thing to do. I tell all my family and friends about Masterworks, and now
Hey, Maria. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Very good. You sound right. We can hear you. You are up next.
Thank you.
Stand by. We just want to confirm the pronunciation on your last name. Bobo?
Correct.
Correct. Thank you.
With what you're doing, or if you're not even doing what you were trained to do. Right now, Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical has immediate job openings in all three areas that I just mentioned. Since 1968, Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical has been a premier family-owned and operated business to call when you needed help. It's also a great place to work. For example, Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers great wages, benefits, and matching 401k. Employees also receive world-class health, dental, and life insurance. They offer short-term disability and opportunities for career advancement and paid professional development. You're never on call or required to work Sundays. Plus, they have generous paid time off and paid holidays, along with year-round employment, not seasonal employment, year-round employment. So join the family. For more information or for a confidential interview, go online at familyheating.com or stop by one of their 3 metro locations. Again, learn more online at familyheating.com. It's 8:21 at 760 WJR.
Hey, this is Sean Belegian. Join me and PGA professionals Brian Cairns, Mike Fay, and Jordan Young every Sunday night at 7 for Spin on Golf, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, coming to Detroit Golf Club July 28th through the 31st.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Traffic first sponsored by Reamer Floors. Shop the Dixie Home Premier Flooring Center at Reamer Floors. Dixie Homes Envision 6/6 carpet nylon is stain and soil resistant. It matters where you buy flooring. Shop Reamer Floors in Bluefield Hills or online at reamerfloors.com. Earlier situation in Lyon Township this morning, that a serious fire, that area is now clear. So that is good news. Also clear 96 westbound at Old Plank Road, stop and go traffic from a back road. 696 eastbound at Middle Belt, accident blocking your left 2 lanes. A delay from at least 96, a 23-minute backup. And a 10-minute delay because of construction along 75 southbound between McNichols and Caniff. That left lane is closed. You are delayed from at least a 9-mile. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by TruTech Concrete Coating. TruTech Concrete Coating makes any concrete floor beautiful in as little as 1 day. Garages, patios, basements. TruTech handles it all. It's 4 times stronger than epoxy, slip resistant, and comes with a 15-year warranty. Protect your concrete floors with TruTech Concrete Coating. Call 810-487-8832.
All right, we'll continue to push around some great weather above average temperatures at or above 80 over the next 3 days or so. Some clouds giving way to sunshine as we go through today, 81. Tonight, clear 55. Suburbs will be a tad cooler. Nice looking Thursday. Sunshine, 82. Friday, a few clouds around, still in the low 80s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic, News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR. Presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at MichiganAnswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
64 degrees already. We're going to hit 80 again. Yesterday was lovely. Today is as lovely or lovelier. I hope you're enjoying your morning so far. Take advantage of your advantages. You have the opportunity to do that. Maria Bobo is here, Director of Nursing, Professional Development and Education, and Magnet Recognition of the program at University of Michigan Health, and Adjunct Clinical Instructor at University of Michigan School of Nursing. Your title is a mouthful, Maria.
Good morning, Paul. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and consider this just part of what you usually do. You educate people, and thankfully, you're going to educate us, talking about professional development and education, and Magnet. Explain to me what that all means.
Yes. So let's first start with the Magnet Recognition Program. It is a way for hospitals to be recognized for their exceptional nursing care. It's a rigorous process. We have to go through an application. It takes several years to demonstrate to the American Nursing Credentialing Center that you have all of the characteristics. That means you have a center that nurses are supported, that patients are taken well care of. And I have to tell you, Paul, that we're one of 15 hospitals in Michigan. So it is a very elite group of hospitals, only 10 in the US, but this is a worldwide recognition. And for Michigan Medicine to receive our second designation this year during a pandemic is extraordinary. So we're so proud that we can obtain and keep this designation under the Magnet Recognition Program.
I don't mean to throw you a curveball here, but I hope this isn't, Maria, but I've also received word that Michigan Medicine received an A Leapfrog Hospital Safety Grade for spring of 2022. This distinction apparently recognizes Michigan Medicine's achievements in protecting patients from preventable harm and error in the hospital, and certainly nurses are on the front line for that.
Exactly. So we have a very rigorous process to ensure our patients are safe in our care. So we have policies, procedures, we have ways of catching errors before they happen. And because of that, we do receive prestigious awards just like Leapfrog. And to have that A plus again sets us apart from anyone else.
Now, how does U of M go about supporting your nurses? There are so many challenges facing healthcare overall. There's so many challenges facing all of us overall. But what are you doing now to let the nurses know, to help them understand how you are supporting nurses and the challenges that they're facing right now?
So we definitely recognize that it's been a very difficult 2 years, and the well-being of our staff comes first. So we have implemented ways that we support our nurses, all the frontline staff. We actually implemented a recharge rooms throughout our hospitals. So if a nurse or anyone else needs a break, they can go to these rooms and recharge themselves and refocus. We have other programs. I just want to say Nurses Week is great, but we celebrate our nurses every day at Michigan.
Well, we do too.
Yes.
I've said that before.
Yes.
We celebrate nurses and teachers for that matter. They had their week last week. We celebrate good teachers and good nurses every day. We can never do enough, but we can always do more. And that's what we try to do.
Right. And I want to share that for all our listeners out there is that saying thank you to a nurse goes a long way. And we do this work because we love what we do. We're passionate about patient care. We're passionate about helping families heal. But also to stop and say thank you to a nurse means a lot. If you can just say, I appreciate you. Thank you for holding my hand. Thank you for being there for my mom or my dad. This is a thankless job. We don't look for it, but it does warm our heart if we hear that. Other ways that our audience or the listeners can help is if there are recognition programs at the hospital, nominate a nurse. Again, we don't come to work for any type of recognition, but it's nice to actually be able to see that our patients recognize what we do. So we just want everyone to continue to support nursing. We're still not out of the pandemic. We're still going through difficulties, but listening and hearing from our patients and families that we care for means so much to us.
Good for you. I can't add a thing to that. I thank you for saying that. And I do, by the way, let's get a good close up. I love the scarf, the silk scarf with the U of M. I see the block M's out there. Good for you. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for what you do, Maria Bobo, the Director of Nursing, Professional Development and Education, Magnet Recognition Program, University of Michigan Health, and much more as we continue.
Hey, I'm Jake from Long Island, and my portfolio performance honestly just wasn't cutting it. I was looking for something more. So I researched alternative investments like crypto and NFTs, but they didn't make sense to me. Then I read about Masterworks and Forbes. I did my research and invested over $55,000 with them. I know it was the smart thing to do. I tell all my family and friends about Masterworks, and now I'm telling you.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Is your child getting the personalized attention they need to excel in math? Mathnasium has a solution for students of all skill levels. We assess each child's strengths and weaknesses, creating a customized learning plan. The Mathnasium method gives them the critical thinking skills they need to thrive, with the option to attend face-to-face online sessions or come to one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Mathnasium. We're changing lives through math. Learn more at mathnasium.com.
The joy, brilliance, and musicality of Jean-Yves Thibaudet's performance could not be missed, declared the New York Times. Every note he fashions is a pearl. Jean-Yves Thibaudet joins the Detroit Symphony Orchestra for Ravel's jazz-inspired piano concerto in G. And Yader Bignamini conducts Richard Strauss's orchestral blockbuster, Don Quixote. Tickets start at only $15. Order yours at 313-576-5111 or at dso.org. May 20th, 21st, and 22nd at Orchestra Hall. Jean-Yves Thibaudet plays Ravel with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra.
News, I'm Lillian Wu. The finger pointing continues as gas hits a record high and
back? Oh, just don't.
Hey, Lloyd.
Right.
Lloyd, are you with us? Hello, Lloyd. I see that he's in here.
That was unbelievable. Wow.
Hello, Lloyd.
Did you hear the guy going, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing?
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. When you buy a home with Rocket Mortgage, you'll have a team of experts to help you.
Hey, Lloyd, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes.
In Farmington Hills along 696 eastbound at Middle Belt, seeing a 40-minute backup there. Accident blocking your left two lanes. Stop and go from your 96 275 interchange. 30-minute delay along 96 westbound between Novi Road and Milford Road. And about a 5-minute delay in the construction zone. Usually a slow this time of morning. 75 southbound between McNichols and Caniff. You are delayed from at least 9 Mile. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel. Yes, it's cloudy right now, but it's going to be sunny later this afternoon, even warmer than yesterday. Expected high today, 82 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 54. More of the same on Thursday, starting with some clouds, but a sunshine peeking through, especially in the afternoon, hitting 82 once again. Cloudy skies right now, 64 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather first.
Head north with Wjr Marine, Northern Michigan's largest boat dealer and full-service marina, proudly serving the Great Lakes boating community for 76 years. Carrying luxury lines from Tiara, Pursuit, Chris Craft, Sea Ray, Lund, and Crest. Their expert staff can also offer you a free market evaluation on your current boat. Getting you into the boat of your dreams has never been easier. Visit them at Wallstrom.com to find your nearest Northern Michigan location, spanning from Lake Huron to Lake Michigan and inland lakes between. Wallstrom Marine, boating made easy.
I got to tell you, I really notice a difference around the Smith World Headquarters. Those were the days when I did the show from home. That became my world headquarters. But we have brand new studios now. So we're here in our brand new studios now. Yeah. And we get to wake up with Curtis Paul and Ray Templin. And it's just great. It's very, very nice. It's just nice not to be alone. But I've noticed a difference around the house when I'm able to be there now. And that is there aren't as many pests around. And I don't mean Curtis and Ray. I mean pests, like the kind that you get around your house that you can do something about. And you know that I know that the best way to take care of any pests around your house or your business for that matter is to call the pros from Rose. Rose Pest Solutions. And you know, there are other people out there pretending to be like them. Well, there's no one like them. There's no one that's been around for 160 years like Rose Pest Solutions. These are the people that we hire at our house and are thrilled with the job they've done. I have noticed a very noticeable difference in ants and any number of other pests, whether it's the mosquitoes, the ticks, whatever it is. If it's a pest around your home or office, they know what to do. So when people ask you if you know what to do with all those pests, proudly say, yeah. I call Rose Pest Solutions at 800-966-ROSE. That's all you really need to know. To call the pros from Rose at 800-966-ROSE. 800-966-ROSE. The only thing that's going to be different for you now that you're going to have to adjust and get used to is relaxing out in your mosquito and tick-free patio or backyard or side yard. If you've got a problem, Rose has the solution. They are the solution. Call the pros from Rose, 800-966-ROSE, or go to rosepestsolutions.com. Heading toward 836 and 65 degrees at WJR.
At Detroit Manufacturing Systems, we believe the best thing you can give someone is a chance. We've seen what happens when people are seen, heard, and valued. They change the world. Apply now to join our culture of service so we can rise together.
Listen up, loyal WJR listeners. Estate Planning Legal Services is pleased to offer a free complimentary estate planning kit. Let's be honest, we never truly know what tomorrow will bring. So estate planning is the simplest way to guarantee your assets and property will be distributed according to your wishes. An accident, a serious medical issue, or an emergency can occur, unfortunately, at any time. So that's why all WJR listeners need to talk to Estate Planning Legal Services. When the unexpected happens, your heirs will receive your assets on the terms and conditions you want and remove any uncertainty that could cost time, privacy, control, and money. EPLS prepares comprehensive planning packages to manage and protect your family. Receive your free complimentary estate planning kit and set your appointment now with locally based estate planning legal services. Call 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. That's 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. Plan for tomorrow today. Estate Planning Legal Services.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR. Presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at MichiganAnswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
A couple of quick notes here. You heard it in the news very quickly. Apparently, they're saying that the inflation number is at 8.3%, which is down for the first time in 8 months. March was 8.5%. Ann just gave me a 4 or 5 pages on it that I'm not going to be able to go through right now, but inflation eased in April to 8.3%, just so that you are aware of that. They say that energy prices have moderated, not at the gas pump, so they're looking at something else, I guess. But anyway, that's what we have. And by the way, and thank you, Sister Allison, for reminding me, you get caught up in the heart of all this, that my niece, Caitlin, Allison's daughter, Caitlin Welliver, is a nurse. So, and she's a mom and a nurse, and it's not easy, but she does a great job. So congratulations to my own niece, Caitlin Welliver, who is also celebrating busily Nurses Week. Every day should be Nurses Day. All righty, let's see here. Lloyd is standing by, Lloyd Jackson, and apparently a busy night at the Detroit Public Schools Community District Board meeting last night. There was a vote to change the school's calendar, as well as approve the district's facility master plan and return to the original name of a Detroit high school. My goodness, they were busy, weren't they, Lloyd?
Yes,
WJR senior news analyst Lloyd Jackson just spoke to the district superintendent and has the details in this report.
Good morning, Paul W. The Detroit Public Schools Community District Board last night passed a change to the school calendar. That change will have students start school a week earlier in the fall, which will be August 29th. Normally, students don't start until after Labor Day. I just got off the phone with Superintendent Dr. Nicolai Vitti, who requested that change and says he sees it as a benefit.
It allows us to more of a window to recruit students before the FTE count, which is linked to funding. But probably most importantly, it allows us to end the school year earlier. And so this year, for example, we will be going to school until late June. And that's just too late for us, especially with only 65% of our buildings do not have air conditioning. So often once we even get into late May with the warmer weather, definitely in June, we're having to go half days or even cancel school because it's just too hot in those buildings.
The board also approved spending $700 million in COVID relief funds as part of the district's facility master plan over the next 5 years.
With this $700 million investment, there'll be a couple things that we'll be able to do without increasing taxes for Detroiters, which I think is also exciting to be able to say. But one, we're going to build a number of new buildings. And then we'll add some wings to buildings that are overcrowded. Then there are some buildings out there that have been vacant that we're going to reactivate to deal with overcrowding. And then probably most exciting is renovations and buildings. So in 5 years, all of these new buildings, reactivations, and investments are slotted to be done.
And Dr. Vitti says in 5 years, 95% of the district school buildings will have air conditioning. Finally, Paul W., back when the district was under emergency management and the appointed board, they changed the name of Northwestern High School. That's right down the street from the Fisher Building, to Detroit Collegiate Preparatory High. It was done without any community or alumni engagement. Well, last night, the elected board changed the name back to Northwestern.
There's a lot to be learned and gained from the past. And I think this is not going to revolutionize everything, but it's a small step in just restoring what was and what was definitely a proud history and a continuation of important, strong history as it relates to Detroit.
There's some notable alumni, Paul, from Northwestern. Florence Ballard from the Supremes graduated from there. Melvin Franklin, that's the guy with the really deep voice with the Temptations. Also, Congressman John Conyers graduated from there. Detroit baseball great Willie Horton, Casey Kasem, and Judge Damon Keith.
Wow.
That's the name of few.
That's a lineup, my friend.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get to, friends are watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and WJR.com. I don't get to see Lloyd ever either. So we're all, I'm sitting here mesmerized by your handsome face. It's good to have you there face to face. Could you get this message to Dr. Vitti?
Yes.
While they're busy changing school names back to what they originally were, I got an idea. Can we just go back to Detroit Public Schools instead of Detroit Public Schools Community District? I've never understood that.
Well, I'll talk to him about that, but I believe, the DPS under Detroit Public Schools, they were in deficit and all that. So you had to get rid of that to clear the deficit, and you start brand new with the Detroit Public Schools Community District, and that was different. So you left all that debt behind and you started anew, and here we go.
Yeah, well, and the first people to do that, I think, Sean Belegian, I don't know if you were a part of this or know that, but seems to me, I remember I had to do a commercial for like Macomb County Community College, and they changed their name, I thought. Maybe it was somebody else, to like Macomb County Community College District. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it wasn't Macomb County. You know what I'm talking about, though? Do you remember any of this, Lloyd? It was a school, and they added that sole thing. And then all of a sudden, the Detroit Public Schools became the Detroit Public Schools Community District, DPSCD. I like simplification.
Well, I understand they do still have all the debt, so the debt is still there.
If you could get rid of debt by changing names, I'd be Paul W. Smolbinski. Wow, I'm debt free. I changed my name, or maybe Paul W. Smith Community District. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Lloyd. Always a good job, Lloyd Jackson, WJR Senior News Analyst at 8:44.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
With gas prices at all-time highs, now's the time to donate. Running or not, your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
I wasn't finished singing the song. You should know this about Sean Belegian. He sings all the time. Do you sing in the shower too? Or do you sing everywhere but the shower?
Yep.
You sing everywhere, including in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You like singing?
I do.
Good for you. You got a nice voice too.
Thank you.
Planning a trip to Mackinac Island this summer? I hope so. You should start your adventure off right aboard Shepler's Mackinac Island Ferry. Shepler's Ferry. Simple enough. The Shepler's crew welcomes you to experience the first-class service offered to every guest every day. We've already experienced Shepler's Ferry already this season, and it was great. It'll be great for you, too. Visiting Grand Hotel, Mission Point Resort, or any other island property. Family-owned Shepler's Ferry departs every 15 minutes from St. Ignace and Mackinac City to get you there quickly and safely, and it's a part of your vacation. It's a treat. You get on that boat, you get on that ferry, you go cutting across it, you see the Big Mac, you see it's just great. Your vacation begins with Shepler's Ferry. Buy tickets and learn about free day parking at www.sheplersferry.com. That's www.sheplersferry.com, sheplersferry.com. And I'll talk to you on that ferry boat. That's a promise. You heard it.
I heard it.
I'll talk to you on that. That's a promise. As we continue, Chris Renwick coming up in just a moment at WJR. It's 8:46.
Hi, I'm Doug Manns. What makes us different? It's simple. It's our people. Our experienced and knowledgeable staff will help you with guidance, selection, and delivery for all your home improvement projects. Manns Lumber and Millwork, proudly servicing the building industry and homeowners since 1900.
Hi, it's Jim Morrison from Jeep. Last year, Jeep celebrated its 80th anniversary. This year, we celebrate WJR's 100th anniversary. From one iconic brand to another, we wish WJR all the best for the next 100 years. Congratulations.
Are you living with bad credit? Scared to answer the phone or check your mail due to all those collection notices? Have you recently been denied credit? Credit Repair Gal can help you improve your scores so you can take back your buying power. Repairing your own credit can be frustrating, especially if you don't know where to start. You need an expert who can help. Let us put our years of experience to work for you. Call 1-800-805-6919 or visit creditrepairgal.com today.
Join Ann Thomas and Luann Thomas Ewald for Women Who Lead on WJR, a spotlight show on women who are leading the way in business, civics, and humanity. Women Who Lead, brought to you in part by Michigan Medicine, part of University of Michigan Health.
I'm sure we can agree the past 2 years have been tough. If you're like me, you're more than ready to move on. So let's make 2022 our best year ever by bettering ourselves and staying healthy. That doesn't mean waking up and running 5 miles every morning. Good for you if you can. Something as simple as staying hydrated can do wonders for your overall health, but hardly any of us drink enough water. That's why one of the easiest things you can do is to have good, clean water on hand when you need it. Fortunately, my friends at ApsoPure have you covered with an outstanding offer. Right now, when you sign up for ApsoPure delivery, you'll get 4 free 5-gallon bottles of water, a water cooler free for 30 days, and a bonus 24-pack of ApsoPure Plus electrolyte water. Call 800-4 ApsoPure, and then tell them Paul W. sent you to get this incredible offer. That's 800-4, then ApsoPure, and tell them Paul W. sent you. Or visit apsopure.com/WJR. Bottle deposits and other restrictions apply. Call for details.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster. Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install.
Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
I gotcha.
Very good. You're up next.
All right, sounds good.
Breaks in that construction zone along 75 southbound between McNichols and Kniff. That left lane is blocked. Slow from 7 Mile. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. Shop the Dixie Home Premier Flooring Center at Reamer Floors. Dixie Homes Envision 6/6 carpet nylon is stain and soil resistant. Matters where you buy flooring. Shop Reamer Floors in Bloomfield Hills or online at reamerfloors.com.
If you're thinking this is unusual for this time of year, it is. It's about 12, 13 degrees above normal in the daytime highs. Clouds a good way to some sun today. Even on the overnight lows, it's mild, as we are this morning. And with that sun this afternoon, 81. Tonight, clear 55. Suburbs a little bit cooler. Thursday, sunshine, low 80s. Friday, a few clouds around with highs in the low 80s. From a Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick on News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to More Nurses Week with Paul W. Smith on WJR. Presented by our partners at Michigan Medicine. Discover how University of Michigan Health is changing the lives of people just like you at michigananswers.com. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
I don't know that. I don't have the answer to that question. Ray Templin here looking at Chris Renwick. We get to see Chris now, too. Michigan lawmakers yesterday sent a ballot measure on term limits and financial disclosures directly to November's midterm ballot through a supermajority vote. WJR senior news analyst Chris Renwick has details. But first, I don't know. There's not a good way to ask this question, so
Sure.
I'll do it this way. I'll do it
Yes.
this way.
Yes.
Where are you in your house right now?
So I am not in my house right now. I'm in
Okay.
my mother's house because I had to drop the kids off this morning here.
Well, many kids
So
are
here
still
I
back
am.
at their mother's house. Don't be
Yes.
embarrassed,
Yes.
Chris. A lot of kids have moved back in
Yes.
with their family, especially people in broadcasting. But,
If interest rates continue to go the way they are, I might be back here. Who knows?
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least that answers a question that Ray had, who was certain you were doing this report from your bathroom.
No. Oh,
No.
gosh. No.
Okay. Just
No,
wanted
I
to
mean,
be-
I would be honest with you if I was, but no.
Of course you
Not
would
today.
be. Remember, we had John Stossel in the bathtub, Ann?
Yes.
Many years ago. He was on my
Yeah.
show, and I said, "What? Are you in a bath right now?" And he, well, yes, I never. No one ever figured that out before. And I said, "Well, I can hear bath sounds, Anyway, all right. So what's going on here? This term limit proposal, blah blah blah.
Well, voters are going to have an opportunity here. And currently, lawmakers can serve 6 years in the House, 8 years in the Senate for a grand total of 14 years in the legislature. After that, they're termed out and looking for new work. But if a new ballot initiative is adopted by voters in November, that number will drop on Tuesday. Lawmakers in the House and Senate garnered 2/3 majority support needed to get that proposal directly to voters on the ballot in November. And it would drop the amount of years politicians could hold office in Lansing and require them to submit annual financial disclosures. The group who did most of the heavy lifting here on this issue was Voters for Transparency and Term Limits, which has the support of a number of business groups, labor unions, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan, and former House Speaker Jay Spolger. Bolger shared the parameters of the proposed limits with our guy Gordon yesterday.
This proposal takes that to 12 years total. That's why I say shortening, but says that they're not incentivized to run from one office to another. I think people want a politician, an elected official, to do the job that they were elected to do and to not be spending their time focused on running for another office. So that's what this does. It says they can serve 12 years in either chamber or any combination of the two chambers, but they don't have to change chambers. They don't have to run for another office.
Mhm.
They don't have to decide that they're going to vacate their current position in order to stay longer.
Meanwhile, the other piece to this ballot proposal, Paul, is the annual financial disclosures part. Bolger says, unlike congressional representatives who need to disclose precise amounts in their financial disclosures, this would focus less on the actual number and more on where the money's coming from.
It's specific on what they have to disclose. And again, the public will be able to see where somebody's getting their income or their assets. I think the only difference would be the amount. And I don't think that's what's necessary. I don't think the public, so Congress has these wide swaths of you're in this range or that range. What matters, I believe, is where somebody derives their income or where they have their assets.
And as Bolger told Guy, the main reason for that is to hopefully prevent a conflict of interest. And Paulie, if the proposal is approved by voters in November, it would be the first change to Michigan's term limits for lawmakers since the policy was put in place back in 1992.
Exactly when I was against term limits, and I still am.
Yeah.
I've never been for term limits. Why? Because term limits are the further dumbing down of, in this case, Michiganders or Michiganians, but it's the dumbing down of America. It's why you can't buy more than two boxes of cold medicine because they think you might have a meth lab. Term limits are for people who don't pay attention and only vote for the name because they recognize it. So then we say, oh, well, we don't want that to happen. So let's cut off the opportunity for all the rest of us who are paying attention to vote for who we want to vote for. I don't care if somebody's doing a great job. That means we found somebody who's doing a great job. Keep them in office till they are carried out.
Sure. Well, that is absolutely one side of the coin. The other side that I think people will argue against term limits is this is a way for us to build our future leaders. And not that lawmakers aren't leaders, but perhaps there's somebody in the legislature that would be a next good governor or an ex-secretary of state or an attorney general. And I think that kind of gives them an opportunity to go the political route and build their career. But if this would be the case, what's interesting, I think, about this is it takes away all of the parameters within each house in the legislature. So you could actually serve all 12 terms in the House if you want it, or all 12 terms in the Senate if you want.
This is a way to keep the administrative staff the only ones around with all the experience and knows how to get stuff done. And so the people we don't even vote for end up running so much of what goes on. That's my opinion, and everybody has an opinion. So I still think it's the dumbing down, and it's bad. Quick couple of notes. We have time? Yeah, we have plenty of time here. The U.S. inflation eased in April to 8.3% annual rate. That's the first time in 8 months. And they say, Chris and Sean Baligian and Ann Thomas and Brian Morton, anyone wants to weigh in, they say it's as energy prices moderate. What pump are they going to?
What I had read yesterday is they expected that number to come in around 8.1% this morning. So it's worse than what they expected, as gas prices in our state are at record highs today, and it's only expected to get more expensive.
Right.
And states around the country are seeing that exact same thing too. Issues with the supply chain, working issues. It all is playing a role here.
Did you see the story, another one quickly, of the passenger who's in a private plane, a Cessna, and he gets on the radio, figures out how to talk into the radio and says, "My pilot is incoherent. I've never landed an airplane, and I'm going to have to land this airplane."
It was unbelievable. You should hear the audio.
I have.
Wasn't that incredible?
It's incredible. And even a pilot was impressed when he found out that a non-pilot just landed the plane. But here's the first thing I thought. These people in the Cessna turboprop aircraft, 9-seater, if I heard it correctly, they were flying from the Bahamas. Did anyone else wonder immediately if this pilot had stayed at the Sandals in the Bahamas?
No, I did. Yeah, that didn't cross my mind.
Oh,
Good
boy.
point.
Incoherent?
Oh, boy.
Paul, the guy nailed the landing.
He
too.
nailed the landing.
I mean, he nailed it.
He did say, "I don't know how to stop now."
Yeah.
Could you do that? Could you do that, Paul?
I would try.
Oh,
You got no choice. I would certainly give it a try. I take directions well most of the time. WJR All Talk. Tom Jordan, Kevin D's coming up. Thanks to the whole team and the extra folks here. Regards, Paul W. Smith.
Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
More than 2 years into the pandemic, we are still learning new things every day about the coronavirus.